Marlins baseball on Marlins TV is proudly brought to you by Warner, Hoffman, Gregg, and Garcia. Oh yeah, there's no place like home. And tonight the Marlins return home for a 6-game homestand. And this evening it's game 1 of a 3-game series against the visiting Los Angeles Angels. Xavier Edwards and company ready to go here tonight. Marlins are 5-4 against Mike Trout and the Los Angeles Angels dating back to 2023. Hey everybody, great to be back with you, and a very pleasant good evening and happy Friday. Alongside my partner Tommy Hutton, I'm Kyle Seeloff. This is a new opponent. This is a different ballpark. This is a different pitching matchup, and the Marlins are looking to turn the page this evening.
Kyle, you know what? Come August and September, the opportunities to bounce back become fewer and fewer. This is an opportunity tonight after the 3-game losing streak up in Atlanta for the Marlins to bounce back against a team that's been struggling, the Angels.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. At least on paper, this one seemingly a lot more manageable, and this is a really, really struggling ball club right now.
Well, it's a ball club. They've made a lot of trades. They got rid of a lot of pop in Joe Adell and Jorge Soler, Logan O'Hoppe, but they still have Zach Neto. He's had 3 straight 20 home run seasons. They still have Mike Trout. It's his birthday, and Mike Trout is 35. He said 5 home runs in his career on his birthday, so look out tonight.
So are they the Braves? No, but they're big leaguers, and they have big houses too. Let's focus on the Marlins, and I mentioned there's no place like home. The Marlins have really enjoyed a lot of success at loanDepot Park.
Yeah, it's really interesting when you look at the numbers. Some tell you that they should be playing better on the road because they've hit more home runs on the road, but Otto Lopez, 326, 845 OPS at home. Griffin Conine's been better at home. Griffin Conine has an OPS over 1,000 at home. The run differential is interesting. Plus 33 at home, minus 33 on the road. Very interesting.
Every series down the stretch is critical. They are all important at this juncture of the season. We'll step aside here on Marlins.tv. First pitch coming up at 7:10. When we return, Kelly Sacco will have more on the Marlins' home success this season.
You can't have too much of a good thing. That's why USAA has continued to grow for over 100 years to provide the military community and their families with exceptional insurance and banking options. USAA, taking care of our own.
At Ace, our buckets hold so much more than paint. They hold dreams and hope for children. This weekend, make a $5 donation and get a 5-gallon bucket plus 20% off almost anything that fits inside it.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
This is a Morgan & Morgan airbag alert. I'm Matt Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Your car steering wheel could be a ticking time bomb. At least 24 people have died and many more injured because their airbags fired shrapnel at them upon inflating. Others have suffered skull fractures, lacerations, and other injuries. Tens of millions of cars have been recalled, including models made by Honda, Acura, Ford, Toyota, Nissan, and many others. The airbag recall is the largest automotive recall in history. If you or someone you know suffered hearing loss, vision loss, broken bones, cuts that required stitches, or if a loved one was killed in a crash involving a deployed airbag, please contact us today for a free, no-obligation case review. You could be owed money for medical bills, lost wages, pain and suffering, and other damages. You pay nothing unless we recover money for you.
Call 1-800-602-6400. That's 1-800-602-6400.
Protecting what you care about is important to you, so it's important to Allstate. That's why we have a plan to protect just about anything, like this car, up, and this awesome bike. The stuff in that apartment you're renting, it's protected. This golf cart, it's protected. Hey, don't worry, that phone's protected too. Protection for just about every part of life, no matter what kind of life you have. If it's important to you, it's important to us. You're in good hands with Allstate. Good boy.
Welcome back to Miami, where the Marlins begin a 6-game homestand with a first of 3 against the Angels. The Marlins are looking to get back in the win column, and there is no better place to do it than right here at loanDepot Park. The Marlins, they have been so good here at home this season, a 34-23 record. It's 5th best across Major League Baseball, and the Marlins, they struggled in the last part of the road trip, but for Clayton McCullough, he knows his team has been so good here in Miami.
Glad to be home. We've done well here this year, at home, so we need that to continue. And I think, the parts of, seasons, there's definitely, it's tough to have everything like going at the same time. Usually there's at times a piece of your team that is struggling. But when those times come, that's when the other parts have to, go. So if we give up, 2 runs today, we got to find a way to score 3, and if we give up 7, well, we got to find a way to score 8 or 9. That's how teams over the long haul of a season, you win a lot of games. So I'm thinking, I really do believe, our offense had a rough little bit of a stretch here, but a lot of confidence that those guys are going to get back going. Hopefully some home cooking helps us out, but we certainly need to string together some series wins here to keep heat on people.
And no better night to do it than a Friday night from here at loanDepot Park. Don't go anywhere. When we return, the Marlins look to beat the Angels. Your favorite broadcast duo, Kyle Seeloff, Tommy Hutton, will have your call next.
At Allstate, what's important to you is important to us.
God, I'm telling you, this girl just came out of nowhere.
And right now, what's important to Blake is not getting in trouble with his dad. The good news is if you have accident forgiveness from Allstate, your auto rate won't go up just because of an accident, even if it is your fault. Sorry, squirrel's fault. Because we all deserve a second chance. Right, Dad? If it's important to you, it's important to us. You're in good hands with Allstate.
At Ace, our buckets hold so much more than paint. They hold dreams and hope for children. This weekend, make a $5 donation and get a 5-gallon bucket plus 20% off almost anything that fits inside it.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
People do anything to make their beer cold. They fill trucks, find shade, even steal power. That's why the Coors Light Mountains turn blue. Because people don't just like beer, people like cold beer.
Surprise. Seems you've been using your Discover cashback card to earn 5% cashback at restaurants all quarter.
Yeah.
Now, it's payback time.
What?
Go ahead.
Oh, you mean my Discover cashback. Did you take my cupcake?
Wasn't me.
Because you got a little icing.
There'll be other cupcakes.
Yep, you got it.
Activate and earn 5% cash back at different categories each quarter and up to $1,500 in purchases.
Place to discover.
Hey, it's the Good Greek Spiro. I'll get right to the point. Billy has the best nose for moves, and he knows to call Good Greek Moving and Storage, the one the pros trust as the world's only total relocation company. Whether your move is across town, across the country, or across the globe, call Good Greek Moving and Storage for your best move ever. It all starts at goodgreek.com. Good Greek, the official mover of your Miami Marlins.
Good Greek Moving and Storage. Your superhero movers.
Miami Marlins baseball is presented by Warner Hoffman, Gregg and Garcia, the official law firm of the Miami Marlins. By FPL. And by UHealth, pushing medicine forward. George Klassen versus Tyler Phillips in game 1 of a 3-game series this weekend at loanDepot Park between the Marlins and the Angels. The Angels are 44-71. The Marlins return home tonight. 58-58. Tyler Phillips worked out at Truist Park yesterday afternoon. He flew back ahead of the ball club. That's a good thing, because the Marlins got home around 4 o'clock this morning. Let's get you set for this one tonight. Take a look at that Angels starting lineup, led by Kurt Suzuki and brought to you by FPL. It'll be Meckler, Trout, and Shawnuel, followed by Neto, Grissom, and Ballesteros, Peraza, Lowe, and Heineman. Round out the starting 9 for the struggling Los Angeles Angels here tonight. And here comes Tyler Phillips and Hud. Marlins could use a good start from the righty this evening.
Yeah, they sure could. Making his first ever appearance against the Los Angeles Angels. coming off a win in New York against the Mets. He went 5 innings, gave up just 6 hits, a couple of runs, and boy, has he pitched well here at loanDepot. Tyler Phillips at loanDepot in 15 games, 6 starts, is 2-1 and has an ERA of 1.63.
So it is a different opponent. It is a different ballpark. It's a different matchup. And maybe more importantly, a much more manageable opponent on paper for the Marlins tonight. First pitch of the ball game misses outside. We are underway on time at 7:10 back home in Miami. And Wade Meckler leading things off for the Angels, the Anaheim native. Batting .310 over 57 games this season. Having a good year for the Angels.
Yeah, he was hitting so well in Double-A. He was hitting near .350 in about 30 games at Double-A. He got up here quickly.
They couldn't hold them down any longer as a 2-0 sinker's in there for a called strike. So the Angels are in Miami after dropping a series in Baltimore. Marlins were just swept in Atlanta after taking 3 of 4 in New York against the Mets. That's a good sinker, 2-2.
So important always to watch Tyler Phillips, and when he establishes that sinker, well, it just sets up the sweeper and the split.
Tyler having a good season, making a career high 13th start tonight. He's already tossed the career high 89 in the 3rd innings. Bouncing ball to the right side. Kyle Stowers gobbles it up in a race to the bag. He beats Meckler there. And there's 1 up and 1 down for Phillips.
I like that from Kyle Stowers. Let's take a look at the defense brought to you by Doral Kia. We're going to do it differently. How about Joe Mack behind the plate around the infield? Leo, Otto, X, and Kyle. Looking in the outfield, you got Ruiz, Marcy, and Owen Casey left to right.
And why did you like that from Stowers?
Because anytime you can eliminate the flip and the pitcher having to catch it and step on the bag, eliminates all that.
Happy birthday, Mike Trout, who swings and misses at a first pitch splitter from Tyler Phillips.
All right, he had to make a decision. First he was going to flip it, then he thought, nah, let me take it myself.
Fly ball in the air. This is slugged deep right center field. Way back she goes and gone. It's another birthday bomb for Mike Trout, who's been one of the best in the business for 16 seasons. And the Halos jump out to a 1-0 lead.
Pretty amazing that he had hit 5 home runs on his birthday prior to that at bat. So he has now homered 6 times on his birthday. 97 out over the plate. I watched him take batting practice, and he hit a number of balls into right center, into those seats out there. He's got that kind of power. 423rd home run for Mike Trout,
who turns 35 years old today. It's his 19th home run of the season, and he loves playing on his birthday. There's Nolan Shanoel, who played his college ball up the road at Florida Atlantic University. I understand you had a chance to say hello earlier today.
I did. Talk to him. He's got family here from Boynton Beach. Went to Park Vista High School, the same high school as Trey Turner. So yeah, he's got friends and family here.
0-2 the count on Shanoel, batting .273, and he sends that high in the air deep to right field. Back onto the warning track goes Owen Casey, and he reels it in. Off the bat, that Angels dugout got very loud. I think they thought for a moment that Shanoel had gone back-to-back with Trout.
Yeah, I was watching Owen Casey. You'd like to see him get back to the fence a little quicker and then come in, as opposed to drifting the way he did. He just kept drifting and drifting and drifting. Fortunately, he was able to stay with it and put it away.
Had it all the way. Here's Zach Neto, another Miami native. First pitch swinging, ground ball left side. Lopez takes care of that. The Angels get one. Trout his 19th of the year.
I'm Jay, and this is my home. My first big purchase with help from loanDepot. This is where I play my favorite music. This is where I grow my small garden. It is here that I laugh. It is here that I learn. It's my sanctuary. It's my place. It is my home. And home means everything to me.
Baseball is heating up, and this summer, Hard Rock Bet has the hottest betting odds in Florida. Vig, juice, fee, whatever you call it, we're cutting it to just 10 cents. That's flat 10-cent lines for winner, spread, and over-under pregame bets. The same bets, even better odds. All August long on the only legal app to bet the Marlins. Hard Rock Bet. Get your bets in before the summer sale ends.
Marlins TV is presented by Warner Hoffman, Greg, and Garcia. And the Marlins back home tonight, ready to turn the page. They allowed 19 runs over that 3-game sweep in Atlanta. But they trail after a half-inning of play. Mike Trout, a solo shot, 1-0 LA. It'll be Stowers, Lopez, and Conine for the Marlins here in the last of the first. Starting lineup brought to you by Warner Hoffman, Greg, and Garcia. Those three will be followed by Edwards, Casey Jimenez, Marcy Mack, and Ruiz. George Klassen is on the mound for the Angels tonight. A very interesting young arm who has not had a whole lot of, let's call it, success in his very young major league career. But the Angels think they have a powerful cannon of a right arm here, huh?
Yeah, he had some early starts, a couple of them in April, but was extremely wild. 10 walks in 4 2/3 innings. He went down to AAA, and we were told was able to put together a better ball strike ratio, but still walked 46 in 91 innings. So be patient, get strikes, get base hits, just like that.
Leadoff single for Kyle Stowers.
What's our scouting report tell us of the 24-year-old right-hander? It's his third major league start, not season, but that's okay. He's got a Max connection. He and Max Meyer, both from the University of Minnesota. He was one of those kids that had Tommy John surgery as a freshman.
24-year-old out of Wisconsin. Was originally drafted by Philadelphia in the 6th round of 2023. Here is Otto Lopez batting a team leading .318 on the season. He was 5 for 29 on the road trip. Stowers at first. That bouncing ball goes foul.
Well, the one thing when Otto has hit in the number 2 spot, he's hit .394 hitting in that number 2 spot.
Continues to lead baseball with 143 hits, tied for first in doubles with 29. Tied with Matt Olson in that department, who just put on a show when we were in Atlanta. Lopez second in multi-hit games with 44. Griffin Conine on deck.
Yeah, he's dropped out of that batting race a little bit. Luis Arias hasn't missed a beat since he left San Francisco and became a Philly.
Somehow he has only gotten better. There's some awful rain in the Northeast tonight. A ton of those games either in progress or have yet to start are currently delayed as Lopez hits that fastball foul.
Well, I don't need to tell you. You know what rain delays are about.
It was an hour and 24-minute rain delay last night. Marlins landed at Miami International right around 2:45, 3 o'clock this morning. Had delays in Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, D.C., and New York. Lopez shoots that high in the air. Shallow center. Here comes Trout. And he makes the catch. He was side saddled by Peraza.
That's the defense set up for the Angels, brought to you by Doral Kia. Wade Meckler, Mike Trout is DH, but he's played a lot of center field this year. Josh Lowe in right. Neto and Peraza up the middle. Vaughn Grissom, we've seen him, saw him as a Brave. Nolan Shawnuel at first base, and Tyler Heineman behind the plate.
The magician who used to play for the Marlins.
The former Marlin. Briefly.
Who penned a very emotional goodbye to Toronto earlier this season. Here's Griffin Conine, a former Blue Jays farmhand. Conine is coming off a road trip in which he was 4 for 24 at the plate. And he lays off a changeup. It's 2-0. So Klassen, look, this is one of the more intriguing young arms in this Angels organization. His development, obviously, as Hud alluded to, hasn't been all that smooth. This is a guy who had Tommy John surgery, as Tommy told you, back in 2021, which was just 5 years ago. And I think most importantly for the Marlins, Hud, make him throw strikes.
Absolutely.
His fastball can overwhelm you, but command has absolutely been a developmental hurdle for Klassen. Stowers with a leadoff single. He's at first with 1 out. Swing and a miss. Klassen threw that fastball right by Griff.
Talk about some of the hitters who have really flourished here at loanDepot. Griffin Conine, a .317 hitter at home, and a home OPS over 1,000.
2-2. Struck him out. Good slider. Those last 2 pitches, it's a heck of a sequence. Young man goes upstairs with 94, then he buries the slider at 91.
Yeah, his repertoire, he's going to use that 4-seamer, which is, you pointed out, he can get it into the upper 90s. Then he's got a nice changeup and a slider. He'll use curve and sinker a little bit, but primarily those first 3 pitches he likes to use.
Here is Xavier Edwards batting cleanup. Swing and a miss. Klassen goes right back to the slider. This is a series featuring the Marlins, who are 500, trying to win now, trying to stay in the National League wildcard picture. And then you got a young man like Klassen on the mound for the Angels tonight, and they're trying to find out if this guy can be a part of their next winning ball club. Quickly, 0-2 on Edwards, who's coming off a road trip that saw him go 5 for 22 at the plate with a double.
Well, I mentioned some of the offense they got rid of in Joe Adell and Soler and Ohapi, and then also part of their rotation with Soriano going his way as well.
I think if you're a fan of baseball and maybe you don't follow the Angels all that closely and you root for the Marlins, I think the most compelling storyline here would be Mike Trout remains an Angel, and he is very defiant about going out a winner in Anaheim. And obviously that has not gone all that well over the years. The birthday boy's played in 3 playoff games in his career.
3 playoff games. I looked at that and I had to look at it about 10 times.
Amazing.
Realized 15 years. And the sad part about that is that fans across the nation just haven't had a chance to see Mike Trout alive.
I know. Little flare, shallow center, trying to get down. There goes Neto, and he makes the over-the-shoulder grab. He's an outstanding shortstop. And Zach Neto retires the side here in the bottom of the first. And nothing for the Marlins after the leadoff single by Stowers.
It's Toyota's national sales event with so much summer left to see. From the perfect seats in a RAV4, to reimagining spaces in a Corolla Cross, to rooms with a view in a Tundra. Don't you love when summer just clicks?
Lease a new 2026 Toyota Tundra SR5 for $429 a month for 36 months with $54.28 due at signing. That's just $429 a month on the Toyota Tundra.
Toyota keeps your summer going.
Toyota, let's go places.
Spectrum Business delivers commitment with every connection. Now offering fast, reliable internet for $50 a month. In Austin, this gym saves big with award-winning service. And at this STEM class in Rochester, this deal fuels big ideas with internet that inspires. And in Milwaukee, our invincible Wi-Fi saves game night, even when the power goes out. Get business internet for $50 a month when you sign up online. Learn more at spectrum.com/50. Spectrum Business.
Now, more than ever, all U.S. veterans need your help. If you have an old car, truck, or van, you can donate it today and help them. And they'll come pick it up for free. Plus, the money raised helps our nation's disabled veterans and their families. Call the number on your screen right now. Within a few days, we'll come and tow it away for free, running or not. And the proceeds greatly help U.S. veterans. So please call right now.
The key to being rich, it's knowing what counts. It's investing in a little inspiration. Our financial advisors help clients find their rich and build financial plans to help them get there. Let's find your rich. Edward Jones.
Well, here's the current odds on tonight's Hard Rock bet. On Tyler Phillips, 4.5 strikeouts. The over at +225 and the under at -375. Mike Trout's 19th home run of the season has staked the Angels to an early 1-0 lead as Tyler Phillips goes back to work. So Marlins allowing 19 runs over the last 3 games in Atlanta as Vaughn Grissom, who used to be a big old prospect for the Braves, will bat. And he was traded to Boston. More on that later. I think it would be really good if Phillips could reset the bullpen tonight, go 5 or 6 innings. Hopefully he leaves with a lead and let some of the big boys take over to try to win this thing.
You'd love to really see that. And you talked about the runs allowed. The Marlins scored just 6 runs in Atlanta.
They pitched very well in New York against the Mets, but then took a step up in weight class.
You know, Clayton said it best when talking to the media before the game. You get to a point where everything isn't working just right, but when the other team gets 2 runs, you need to get 3. The other team gets 7, you need to get 8. So you got to play that way.
There's Jacob Marcy, and there's one gone here in the second. Thought it was interesting you bring up Clayton. He was talking earlier this afternoon, and I'll paraphrase here, but asked about the delays, the late nights, and getting swept, and the ebbs and flows and the ups and downs of a season. You know, he basically started to go into, you don't deserve to be here. When you're a major leaguer, you earn the right to be here. And the guys that can push through this are the ones that are going to play in October. And if you can't get through it and handle all of it, you're going to be on hole number 1 following the end of the regular season. That is driven deep to right field, way back there. That's off the wall for Moises Ballesteros, who hit that ball so hard he'll have to stop at first and be content with a single. He was just acquired by the Angels from the Cubs.
He actually played 59 games with the Cubs this year. Breaking ball stays out over the plate, and Ballesteros, who's primarily a DH, put that DH swing on that pitch.
He made his major league debut on May 13th of last season against the Marlins at Wrigley Field. Here is Oswald Peraza.
Basically what Clayton meant is that you've earned the right to wear that major league uniform. You've earned the right to have those late nights and early arrivals. Right. That's part of the deal.
It was really good. ABS powered by T-Mobile, and a good challenge out of the gates here from Joe Mack. Thought it was a really good soundbite, though. Nobody's going to feel sorry for you. Keep on going. Keep pushing. Peraza batting .233 on the season, and he takes strike 2. Young man out of Venezuela.
Spent a few years, about 3 years with the Yankees.
Angels got him at the deadline last July from New York. Swing and a miss. Good splitter there. And Phillips has his second out of the inning.
Yeah, that's part of Tyler Phillips when he gets ahead. He's got a couple of really good put away pitches. One's the splitter and the other's that nice sweeper. He'll even use his curveball once in a while in those situations.
So with 2 out, Josh Lowe will be the batter. Former 13th overall pick by the Rays is Lowe back in 2016.
It's always very confusing when they have Lowe and Lau.
Lowe and Lau. 72 games this season for Lowe, a 201 hitter. He shoots that the other way. That's sinking fast, and that's going to get down for a base hit in front of Ruiz. It's already the third hit in this game for the Angels off of Phillips.
Well, they know, I'm sure the Angels, looking at their scouting report and their game plan, they know that Tyler Phillips is going to be around the plate. He's aggressive on the mound, throws a lot of strikes, so they're going to be aggressive at the plate.
That's a good piece of hitting there by Lowe, and here is the former aforementioned Marlin, Tyler Heineman. And he takes strike one on the outside corner. Heineman batting $172 this season, splitting his time between Toronto and Los Angeles. 51 games, 1 homer, 8 RBIs. Swing at a ground ball, yanked foul outside of first. Phillips ahead of Heineman, 0-2.
So let's see, his battery mate went on to Toronto, Rafael Soriano, who's pitching tonight for the Blue Jays in Philadelphia against Zach Wheeler. Should be a pretty good matchup
if they play. Joe Mack making his 61st start behind the plate tonight. A tremendous rookie he has been for the Marlins. First and second with 2 outs. Angels leading 1-0. We're in the second. Great to be back home. Phillips ready with a 1-2. Here it comes. And a line drive pulled foul. Heineman out in front of that curveball. Bit of a homecoming of sorts for Heineman. He's 35 years old, but he was born in the Pacific Palisades. So as the crow flies, I'm not sure how far that is with traffic.
It's
going to take you a little longer.
Yeah, it's a little closer to Dodger Stadium than it is to Anaheim.
Where those fires were, correct?
Yeah.
The Palisades.
Yeah.
Fly ball in the air, shallow left. And Ruiz has got it, and the Angels leave a pair on here in the second.
Mr. Conine, Mr. Conine, sign our ball. Yeah, please sign our ball.
No problem. So, who do you want to be when you grow up?
I want to be a lawyer like my dad. Me too. Our dad is an all-star lawyer.
That's amazing. You got such great role models at home. And plenty out here in the field, too.
They say jack of all trades, master of none. Well, they haven't met the Kia Carnival Hybrid. At its best-in-class torque, its 608 miles of total range, or its industry-leading warranty. Maybe Jack should drive a multi-purpose Kia Carnival Hybrid. Visit your local Kia dealer today.
We have no idea what the future will look like. Flying cars, self-driving shopping carts, meals that cook themselves. But I'd wager one thing stays the same. We'll always lend you a hand when you need one. Because that's not a trend, it's a habit. One we picked up 95 years ago and haven't put down since.
Okay, see you next week. All right. Good night. Good night.
Welcome back to loanDepot Park. It's 1-0 Angels thanks to Mike Trout, who added to his all-time Angels ranks with his 19th homer of the year in the first. Our Toyota trend shows us that the 12-time All-Star is a franchise leader in homers, runs scored, OPS, extra base hits, and WAR. Clayton said pregame that when Trout is healthy, it's great for the game. He compared him to Jim Brown, said the way he's able to impact the game on both sides of the ball. Clayton also said that one day we're going to look back at this in his Hall of Fame career and feel so privileged to have been in the game the same time as Mike Trout. Tommy, I know you've had a chance to see him a ton across his 16-year career. What's impressed you most?
You know, it's one of those things you wish as a fan, and having seen him, had he been able to stay healthy the last 3 or 4 years, because he's missed a lot of games. He'd be well over 500 home runs right now, easy, and a lot of hardware, 3 MVP awards, Rookie of the Year, but just as Kyle mentioned earlier, just 3 games in postseason.
He still owns the second longest home run ever here at loanDepot Park. It was a 473-foot homer a couple of seasons ago over the Norwegian Cruise Line home run harbor in deep left center. But that's always, at least to date, been a fun trivia question. Do you know who owns the longest home run ever here in loanDepot Park history? And I'll help you, it is not a Marlin.
Yeah, my guess was going to be Giancarlo. Teixeira?
May 14th, 2019, Avisail Garcia. Fly ball to right field off the bat of Owen Casey, sending low back with room. He's got it. It was a 485-foot home run to dead center field here.
Wow. Yeah. Owen Casey's getting close. You know, he's not gotten a hit yet since he's returned from the injured list, and he was so hot before he got hurt. He had a few games, 2 or 3 games on rehab. He just hasn't quite gotten that timing, but the last game in Atlanta, better swings, not a bad swing there.
Here's Leo Jimenez. So when you're watching Casey swing, what makes you believe he's close?
Most of it's timing, and he was just a little bit out front of that, and you see him just miss pitches. Saw that in a couple of games in Atlanta. But when you've been out a while, it's the timing's the key thing.
Timing is everything. Nobody on, 1 out here in the bottom of the second. Jimenez batting .209. He was 2 for 10 in New York and Atlanta as Leo swings and misses. What do you see from this young man Klassen here early? Stuff looks pretty good.
Well, what I see is strikes so far. Some pretty good sliders. His fastball has a little velocity to it.
By the way, the guy that debuted earlier this season, certainly not the guy the Angels think that they're getting. I say that because he was so good in AAA in Salt Lake in the month of July. He was the Pacific Coast League Pitcher of the Month. And let me tell you something. That's saying something if you can pitch in the PCL.
Yeah, it's a hitter's league.
It has been over the years notorious for being a launching pad, as Heineman does not challenge that changeup. Another foul ball.
Seems to have good command with his slider so far early on. He's throwing that for a lot of strikes.
Clayton McCullough hoping that his ball club can get back on track here tonight. I don't know if everybody would agree, but if I told you after 116 games the Marlins would be 58 and 58 and 3 out of a wild card, I think some folks would sign up for that. Maybe others would not. I don't know, but hey, roll the dice. A little over 45 games left to play. Let's see what happens here.
Anytime there's a chance, you stay right with it.
Jimenez putting up a good battle. And he went around for strike 3. So nobody on and 2 out. Let's step aside for a message from FPL.
At FPL, our teams are working every day because reliability isn't an option, it's a commitment. FPL, working for you every single day.
With 2 out, here comes Jacob Marcy, who's looked better. Had a couple of doubles and a homer on the road trip. And he swings and misses.
Yeah, I think when you look back, and I was trying to put some numbers together, Jacob Marcy, last 13 games, he's been a .276 hitter, but adding to that a .382 on base percentage.
Right, not since the All-Star break, so very respectable numbers. Still leads the ball club, having drawn 56 walks this season, so he remains very patient at the plate, which I think ironically at times this season has gotten him into a little bit of trouble when he's taking once in a while a 2-0 fastball down the middle of the plate. I think the Marlins are trying to find that sweet spot of using a very, very good eye and then pulling the trigger when you're in an advantageous situation.
Yeah, it's such a fine line to that too.
It's hard to thread that needle as he lays off of ball 3.
That's interesting. You have a pitcher, he's struggled a little bit throwing the fastball for strikes, but his slider, he's kind of used that a lot. Now, I don't know if he'd look 3-1 slider, but he could use it right here.
Oh.
See, his fastball, he's having a whole lot of trouble with it.
Overcooked that one at 97, and the Marlins have their second base runner of the night and their first since the leadoff single from Stowers in the first. Did this hit him? I guess it's semantics. It's either a walk or a hit by pitch.
Yeah,
but it's really close.
I don't know if I saw the ball change directions. I'm putting down walk.
They have officially declared that a walk. Here is Joe Mack, who had a double and a homer in New York and Atlanta, 4 for 14 over the road trip.
Had a nice road trip.
One ball, no strikes to count, and Klassen steps off.
I think the name Joe Mack is quietly getting around the league.
I think you're right. He's tied with Charles Johnson in 1995 for the most home runs by a Marlins rookie primary catcher with 11. So as far as I'm concerned, I think this Friday night is a perfect night to make it 12 and leapfrog CJ. He's done a great job, though. Young man obviously didn't go to college. Big time Marlins draft pick, catching in the major leagues, hitting a respectable .240. He has shown power. His defense has been brilliant. I mean, what more could you ask for right now?
Yeah, I think overall his handling of the pitchers has been terrific.
2-1 coming. Pretty big swing on that heater, 2-2.
You know, it's a little different with Marlins catchers, and in Joe's case, a young catcher. The one thing he can eliminate that with other ball clubs you can't do, he doesn't have to worry about calling pitches, which I think takes a little pressure off him, and he can add that somewhere else.
He waits on a 2-2, and that misses low for ball 3. That was a little added wrinkle that Nelly and I probably did not talk enough about after the deadline. Liam Hicks getting shipped to Tampa Bay, where I assume he'll have to call pitches again. Payoff pitch coming. Marcy will be on the move. Swinging a ground ball to second. And the side is retired.
The Marlins Colombian Heritage Celebration returns to loanDepot Park. Rep your roots with an exclusive Colombian jersey. And keep the party going with our Celsius post-game concert series. Get your tickets at marlins.com/Colombia.
Mommy?
Take 5 rows.
Welcome to Take 5.
Fitting an oil change into your schedule doesn't have to be scary.
Just go to Take 5.
We're okay now.
Yep.
Take 5, the stay in your car 10-minute oil change. Find your nearest shop at take5.com.
Explore available offers now at rangerover.com.
Marco's only uses premium toppings, which means your pizza isn't just flavorful, it's mushroom-full, or sausage-full, or pepperoni-full. And you can get unlimited medium one-topping pizzas from the place named America's favorite pizza chain starting at $8.99 every day, only at Marco's.
The magic returns to loanDepot Park. Grab your wand and get ready for Harry Potter Night. Take home an exclusive Harry Potter cap with your house colors. This is where the magic happens.
Esta transmisión de los Marlins está disponible en español.
Isn't it so nice to be back home? It's beautiful. Shot at loanDepot Park, top of the third inning. Angels leading 1-0. Scoreboard brought to you by Werner, Hoffman, Greg, and Garcia. Top of the order due up here for the Angels. That'll begin with Wade Meckler, who bounced out to Stowers to start the ball game. Interesting note on Wade Meckler. Back in May, he became the first player to homer in his first at bat for the Angels since Mike Napoli in May of 2006. That's a long time. And the first to homer in his Angels debut since Randall Grichuk in July of 2023.
One of those many kids out of Oregon State.
Another challenge here coming, huh? I think Joe thinks this is another strike. And it just missed a little bit low. Yeah, Oregon State. How about Adley Rutschman? How about that deal? Sending him to Boston. It's a big deal. It's driven to right, but right at Casey, who squeezes out number one. So here comes Mike Trout. 19th home run of the season in the first StatCast, brought to you by Google Cloud.
Yeah, it was a sinker out over the plate. 97, good velocity, but allowed Trout to extend those strong arms and crush it just right of center.
It was his 6th birthday blast. It was his 110th career first inning homer. Mentioned the Red Sox. They're already winning 3-0 tonight at home over the Athletics, who dismissed and parted ways with their general manager today. But that's not the story there. The Red Sox have won 31 of their last 36 games. And no, that is not a typo, as Trout strikes out on a good splitter from Phillips, route number
2. 31-5. That's just incredible. Since July 3rd, they're 26-3. It's
really amazing. Here is Shanoel. Fastball in the dirt for ball one. Nice bounce back there for Phillips facing Trout. I think everybody might have learned a little something after the first inning homer, and they strike him out with a splitter here in the third. Shanoel takes inside, maybe a touch low for ball two.
This guy's always going to make you work. He's had high on base percentage. You go back even to his FAU days.
Almost hit him. Some of his college numbers were absolutely ridiculous. He hit 447 his last year in college.
Didn't he have on base over 500?
I beg your pardon. How about 615?
Excuse me.
And he's on base. I mean, truly ridiculous numbers. A 615 on base percentage as a junior in the Conference USA. Very respectable Division I conference in baseball.
Well, his his coach, Coach Mack, John McCormack's going to be here Sunday.
Is he?
Said he's going to come down and watch. Yeah.
You should bring the rest of the team now, kids. If you do all this stuff, you can be just like him. Here is Zach Neto, who grew up nearby. Here's a good one. I don't want to take all of Kelly's thunder. She told me this last year. I'm sure you often think, boy, this is a young man's game. Last year we were in Anaheim. Zach Neto came up to Kelly and said, I used to go to the Marlins games and see you doing Marlins vision on the scoreboard.
So I think at least now that Kelly knows that if she needs to get Zach Neto for an interview, she's got him.
That killed me when she told me that. Yeah, he came up to me and said he used to come to the games when he was little and I was the in-game host. Coral Park High School, did Neto?
Yeah, guys, I was actually talking to the Angels sideline reporter, Erica. She's like, oh, let me introduce you to Zach. And she's like, Zach, this is Kelly. And Zach goes, you're not going to want to hear this, but, and proceeded to tell me that. And I said, you can exit stage left. Thank you. I no longer would like to speak to you.
Oh, gosh. Oh, my goodness. He's 25. 13th overall pick. He was a Campbell Camel, was Zach Neto. Went in the 2022 draft. Look out, Kelly. You know what's amazing about the game today, though, is how quick these kids go from college, play 100 games in the minor leagues, and right to the show. Doesn't apply to everybody. That used to never happen.
Yeah, I think we're seeing it a lot more, yeah.
One ball, two strikes on Neto. You got Shonowell at first and Neto at the plate. You factor in Mike Trout. And those three, really a big part of the Angels' future as they try to piece it together after that. See who can and can't play. Who can be a part of the next great Angels team. There's ball three to Neto. I love this kid, too. He's a great shortstop.
And by the way, to your point about the young guys getting here, Nolan Shonowell played just 25 games in the minor leagues before the Angels brought him up.
Now your brother-in-law, didn't he go straight to the major leagues?
He did. Dick Ruthven. He's on that list, about 12, 15 guys. Bob Horner, I believe.
It's kind of a fascinating storyline in Anaheim, where they have been struggling now for so long. Kurt Suzuki's on a one-year deal, who he just wrapped up his playing career in recent years, trading away big league talent. And there's strike three on the inside corner. So Phillips works around his own two-out walk here in the third. Still 1-0 Angels.
We all want more. But these days, the more we want is changing. Not just more power, but more confidence. Not just more details, but more warmth. Not just more tech, but more peace of mind. That's why Mazda has been named Consumer Reports' safest new car brand. The Mazda CX-90.
So I ran some numbers. You guys might want to consider moving.
Somewhere else?
I doubt it.
These shall ease your grievous throat most readily.
Or maybe a saltwater gargle.
Sold. Congratulations, sir. That is a new record.
You realize a JPEG doesn't count as a financial plan, right?
Maybe. I mean, yes. No?
PNC Bank believes a little boring advice goes a long way.
Fresh starts. Lots of choices. And an easy DIY way to protect your entire world with ADT Blue. Inside, outside, everywhere. With new tech and actual people ready to help when you need it most.
I'll stay with you until they arrive.
When you get ADT Blue, we've got you.
I'm praying for you every single day. I also heard you from Miami. You know, I'm a Miami boy myself, but we both know people from Miami are tough, and I know you got that same strength inside of you. I know this journey isn't going to be easy. I just want you to keep believing, keep smiling when you can, and keep fighting one day at a time, man.
What's up, Logan? It's Jacob. Just wanted to reach out. I've heard everything going on, and I know things aren't the easiest, but you've got a lot of coaches, a lot of teammates right behind you rooting for you, and I'm here the same. I've been thinking about you. Just wishing you the best, and here if you need anything.
That was Angels shortstop Zach Neto and Marlins prospect Jacob Lombard as Ruiz doubles on the first pitch of the inning. Guys, those are both Miami natives sending words of support and encouragement to that young man right here. His name is Logan Villar. He's 10 years old. He's currently going through cancer treatments after being diagnosed with brain cancer. Guys, baseball is his life. His father said those messages not only meant the world to Logan, but receiving these videos of encouragement from Major League Baseball stars is a reminder to his son that baseball, it's more than a game. It's a family built on kindness, encouragement, and hope. And of course, to learn more of Logan's story, it's his GoFundMe link, so you can go and check that out. And guys, I should add, Neto also got his teammate Mike Trout to do a video with him. So just very kind gestures by all those involved. You know what meant the world to him.
That is so nice.
I am sure as Stowers flares that into shallow center, Trout's coming out and he'll play it on a hop. He deked Ruiz. Stowers with his second hit of the ball game. And the Marlins, who trail 1-0, are in business here in the third. I am sure, though, as soon as some of these young men in the Marlins clubhouse catch wind of that story, they'll send some well wishes as well.
Yeah, I think Ruiz held his ground anyway. Trout tried to give him a little deke, but he wasn't going to score on that. All of a sudden, Kyle Stowers 2 for 2 in this one. And this is where you have to really jump on a pitcher and try to have yourself a big inning. So the Marlins have set themselves up for that. First and third, nobody out.
Here is Otto Lopez. Flew out to center in the first. He takes strike one at the knees. So Ruiz with a leadoff double. Stowers follows with a single. Marlins trying to cash in at the very least a run here in the third. And you can see in the early going some of the command issues for Klassen.
Yeah, and it seems like a lot of it's been with his four-seamer. And add to all the other numbers for Otto Lopez this year, hitting .303 with runners in scoring position.
He's hitting 4 of 5 here in August as he waits on a 1-1 and slams that foul out of play. He has been the model of consistency as Otto. And there are those numbers with runners in scoring position. Plenty of speed at third with Ruiz. Blake Lally keeps a close eye on him. Chopper left side. Here comes Ruiz. The throw to the plate is in time.
Really surprised he went. Even if he was going on contact, that ball was right in front of him. Really surprised he went. A lot of times you'll see a runner with nobody out will not be going on contact, and with one out they will be.
Do you think, Hut, it was because of the nature in which the ball was hit, a chopping ball? Is that what Ruiz thought he heard, felt, and saw?
As fast as he is, it wasn't even close at the plate. But on the other hand, if he was going on contact, that's the chance you take.
Ruiz out 5-2. Here's Conine, who takes a changeup for ball one. Now Stowers at second, Lopez at first. Conine 0 for 1, struck out back in the first on a slider. Pop foul, 1 ball, 1 strike. Some speed still on the bases. shallow fly ball to center field. Trout's coming on this time with room. And he makes the catch. There's 2 away as we step aside and get you a message from Doral Kia.
Take advantage of a Pricito now on all of your favorite new Kia models. Like a new Kia K5, Sportage, Sorento, Soul, and more.
Trout has gotten a lot of sprinting in tonight. And you pointed out something to me that totally blew me away before the game, that Mike Trout has never won a Gold Glove. I would have guessed that he'd had a few of them.
I know it.
Oh, that'll keep him out of the Hall of Fame for sure.
Yeah, you know what? I hadn't thought about it that way. So the Marlins had first and third with nobody out, and now they're in danger of not scoring a run. Unless Xavier Edwards can change that.
Look at that. 2 outs. Runners in scoring position. X has come up big.
Hey, you know who over the years, back to Trout for a moment, and a big reason why he's never won a Gold Glove if you look. The big thorn in his side, Torrey Hunter, Jacoby Ellsbury.
Okay, yeah, Torrey Hunter for sure.
Kevin Kiermaier, guys like that. And then he started to get hurt and other guys had opportunities. As Edwards flies this out towards the gap in right center. And Trout is over and makes the catch. They had first and third, and they failed to score.
Baseball is heating up, and this summer, Hard Rock Bet has the hottest betting odds in Florida. Vig, juice, fee, whatever you call it, we're cutting it to just 10 cents. That's flat 10-cent lines for winner, spread, and over-under pregame bets. The same bets, even better odds. All August long on the only legal app to bet the Marlins. Hard Rock Bet. Get your bets in before the summer sale ends.
You push it. You try to hold them shut, but your doors won't stay closed no matter what. Introducing Ruby Monkey Magnets. Ultra-thin magnetic plates that will keep your doors and drawers shut. Just peel to reveal the super strong adhesive. Place the monkey, then the magnet, and close. Installation is that simple, and now you have a door that will stay shut. The secret is the ultra-strong industrial magnet's powerful attraction that holds tight. Monkey magnets work on most surfaces and are perfect for cabinets, dresser drawers, sliding closet doors, and more. Even your outdoor problems are solved in an instant because they're corrosion and rust resistant. Call or go online now to get 8 sets of monkey magnets for only $9.99. Due to rising costs, this may be your last chance to get monkey magnets at this low price. There is a strict limit of 1 house pack per order. Call now.
Call 1-800-640-5931. That's 1-800-640-5931. Call or visit getmonkeymagnets.com. So call 1-800-640-5931 now.
Don't miss a moment this season with Marlins.tv, brought to you by Werner, Hoffman, Gregg, and Garcia. Stream the entire season within Marlins territory. You can watch games at home or on the go and stay connected all season long. Subject to national exclusivities. Visit Marlins.tv for details and start streaming today. Top of the 4th inning, scoreboard brought to you by FPL. Here's Vaughn Grissom after a rather frustrating bottom of the 3rd there for Miami.
Yeah, you look back at that first and third, nobody out. You hope it doesn't come back to bite you late in the game. You were talking, and I remember when Vaughn Grissom came up with the Braves, he was highly touted.
Oh, yeah.
I think he came up, there was one of those years where Ozzie Albies was hurt, and Grissom was going to play a lot, get a lot of playing time at second base, and he did his first 41 games. He did a good job.
Came up in 2022. Check swing, they appealed. Did he go? Yes, indeed, he did, according to our crew chief, Lance Barksdale. And Grissom is struck out. That's the 4th strikeout for Phillips.
Then I think Grissom moved on to the Red Sox.
Yeah, he was traded by Atlanta to Boston in a rather high-profile deal. Chris Sale went to Atlanta in that deal.
I would say so.
That was a 1-for-1 deal.
Wow, how about that?
Well, I should say cash was included, but player-wise,
well, I
1
think
for 1.
Also at that time, the Red Sox with injuries and the amount of money Chris Sale was going to demand, I think they felt it wasn't going to work out. Good jump, good play. We saw a play earlier in the game when Big Red was drifting a little bit back to the wall. That time he got a good jump, stayed with it.
Nice sliding shoestring grab by Owen Casey.
Yeah, get that glove out. Keep the concentration. Kind of tuck it in after you make the catch.
He kind of kept that right hand off to his side for some balance as well. Nicely done by Owen. Making his 65th start of the season in right field as Oswald Peraza fouls off a sinker.
Yeah, I don't think the Red Sox at that time thought that Sale would do what he's done since then.
Correct.
Yeah.
But amazing in hindsight to see how it's all worked out. Marlins avoided Sale in Atlanta, who's scheduled to pitch this weekend in New York. Again, there's a ton of delays on the East Coast tonight. And Atlanta and New York are indeed delayed. So Atlanta goes from one rain delay to another. Bouncing ball up the middle. That's got eyes. And that sweeper rolls into center. 2-out base hit for the Angels. That's their 4th hit of the ball game. And Peraza's first. I'll tell you what, I think Phillips has been pretty good here. He's got 4 strikeouts. Hasn't walked anybody, allowed the homer, but he's just kind of out there doing his thing.
You know, he's been able to really make that transition, not only physically but mentally, from the bullpen to the starting role. Of course, I asked Clayton how has it been having Tyler in the dugout instead of in the bullpen, which brought laughter around everybody because you know he's a fun guy to be around.
I think the bullpen is probably saying,
I think they miss him.
Make sure, well, or some might be saying, make sure he stays there, and the dugout's probably saying, you got to get out of here. There's the 0-1 to low. Then he flies one to left. Plenty of room out there for Asterio Ruiz, and Phillips works around the 2-out base hit by Peraza. 3.5 the book, still 1-0.
Winning doesn't just happen by accident. It starts long before the crowd. With preparation, the work, the focus, the discipline to be ready when the moment comes. At WHG, we know every case is earned before you ever step inside the courtroom. Because whether it's baseball or a lawsuit, winning belongs to the ones who prepare for it. WHG. Preparation wins.
At FPL, our teams are working every day, inspecting, upgrading, and strengthening the grid, installing smart sensors that spot problems before they become outages, keeping your lights on, your devices charged, your world running. You may not see us, but our work never stops. Behind every switch that powers on, every screen you tap, every moment that just works. Because reliability isn't an option, it's a commitment. FPL, working for you every single day.
This is a meal. Saucy chicken Roma. Stacked spicy steak. For just $7.99 each? Let's Asiago. Asiago bagel stacks at Panera.
Base hit! This team is unstoppable! Durbin the hero! 12-11! Red Sox win it in 13!
Well, they overcame 5 deficits in that game, and tonight the Red Sox, who are winning 5-0 at home after 3, are trying to become the first team to win 27 times in a 30-game span since the then 2017 Cleveland Indians. Owen Casey leads off the bottom of the fourth for Miami. They trail 1-0.
We talked about Owen Casey trying to get that timing back, and his stint prior to getting hurt, his 14 games prior to that, he was hitting .333 with 4 home runs and 10 RBIs.
How hard is it? He missed 18 games. How hard is it to find that rhythm again?
It's one of those things you could go back and you're not going to hit that way the whole year. But now that he gets hurt, has to go rehab a little bit, not play for a while. And he only had 2 or 3 rehab games, not that many ABs. Plus, it's the minor leagues.
Hit a couple of homers.
Yeah, it's the minor leagues. It's not here. So it takes a while.
Is it that type of swing right there that makes you feel like he's just a tick off?
Yeah, just missed. He had one in Atlanta that he just missed. And if the Marlins are going to win and get back even closer, I think they're going to need Owen Casey to drive in some runs.
Good take there. 2-2.
Because by losing Liam Hicks in the trade, now you're relying more on Conine and Casey and those left-handed bats.
And for that matter, because he bats cleanup so much, you got to kind of throw like Xavier Edwards in that mix as well. If those guys are going to hit 3, 4, 5 oftentimes, you got to find a way to drive some boys in. And there's ball 4. That's a terrific plate appearance for Owen Casey. Make sure you reel in the perks with a 2027 Marlins membership. It's right around the corner. Renew your season tickets today and enjoy lower pricing, complimentary suite tickets, player meet and greets, exclusive giveaways, and more perks all season long. Learn more at marlins.com/season tickets.
Just drawing the walk and taking some close pitches is a good sign.
Here's Leo Jimenez, 0 for 1 at the plate tonight. Well, these next couple of weeks, in terms of the Marlins' playoff chances, are going to be very interesting. And the reason I mention that is because 4 of the Marlins' next 5 opponents are currently sitting below 500. And the Marlins are 39-27 against teams under 500 this season, compared to a 19-31 record against teams 500 or better. So you're playing the Angels, you're going to face the Pirates, who did some buying at the deadline. Pittsburgh dead last in the National League Central, 3 games under 500, but they're not willing to wave the white flag. Although they are losing 5-0 at home tonight in the bottom of the 3rd to the Mets, who sold off 1/3 of their ball club. Keith Hernandez goes viral after the deadline, and the Mets have won 3 in a row.
They're getting their youngsters, Ewing and Benj and all those guys, getting an opportunity.
Check swing, no appeal. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Jimenez.
Bichette's kind of picked things up a little bit. Lindor, Semien, the veterans.
Yep. Yeah, Semien just hit a combo homer in that game.
Yeah.
Swing and a miss. Klassen has been ineffective at times tonight, but that slider has been a very good pitch for him.
Yeah, it has. He's missed badly with the 4-seamer every once in a while, but he's gone back to that slider and made some really good pitches with it.
So 1 on and 1 out now for Jacob Marcy, who walked back in the 2nd. You know what I'm saying, though, these next couple of weeks, and you got to know as a player, we've been really good against teams that are struggling this season. We've got to take care of our business now if we want a chance.
Yeah, I think there's I don't want to say a sense of urgency, but I think you feel it a little bit as a player.
It's a pretty good bunt. Here comes Grissom, and he can't field the bare hand. That's a bunt base hit for Marcy, and the Marlins have the tying run at second base with 1 out. It's going to be a do-or-die play for Vaughn Grissom, who tried to barehand it and couldn't.
Yeah, it's great to see Jacob Marcy. He's one of the best at that on the ball club. And it just goes to show when you have a little speed and you have the third baseman back a little bit, even if you square, which he almost did, and drop down the bunt, you're still going to beat it out. And I think he would have anyway. So base hit all the way for Jake.
It's one of Clayton's big things. Move the ball forward and keep the line moving. Marcy does just that. Here's Joe Mack, who grounded out to second, back in the second. An RBI opportunity as he swings and misses. Good changeup from Klassen. So the 729 OPS on the season for Joe. He takes inside. You got Ruiz on deck. Stowers would follow if we get there. Marlins wasted a first and third with nobody out opportunity in the bottom of the third. Trying not to spoil the leadoff walk in this first and second opportunity with 1 out in the fourth. Trailing 1-0. Mack checked his swing. No appeal. 2 balls, 1 strike to count.
It's a good take, getting himself in a little better hitter's count, 2-1.
You think they're starting to see Klassen better second time through?
I think
They've never seen him before.
I think they're seeing his slider better, which he might throw right here, 2-1.
We got a bouncing ball towards first. Shawnuel picks it up. He'll take it to the bag. Both base runners do advance. And now there's 2 out, but 2 in scoring position for Ruiz.
Yeah, it's interesting. He's gone to his secondary pitches. That was the changeup. A little bit more in hitters' counts.
Marlins have 4 hits in this game tonight. One of them coming courtesy of the man stepping into the box. That would be Asterio Ruiz, who doubled to left back in the third. So he'll bat for the second time in as many innings here in the fourth. Casey at third, Marcy at second with 2 away. Nice backhand pick by Heineman, the veteran catcher.
Haven't said too much about the Angels manager, Kurt Suzuki, a former catcher, who certainly knows about picking balls that way. Has a very experienced bench coach in John Gibbons. Because for Suzuki, his first time managing big league club.
Signed a 1-year deal.
1-year deal. Very surprised. But when you have a guy like John Gibbons, he managed the Blue Jays for about 10, 11 years.
And a very experienced coaching staff in general. His pitching coach is Mike Maddox.
Yeah.
There's a lot of years in the game right there. There's ball 3 on Ruiz with Stowers on deck, who's already 2 for 2 with a couple of singles. That Gibby right there it is. He was to the Mets last year. Wasn't he on Carlos Mendoza's staff as his bench coach?
Got a very experienced hitting coach in Brady Anderson.
Ball 4. And the Marlins have him loaded with 2 out for Stowers.
Good job by Ruiz. Very patient.
And speaking of Mike Maddox, here he comes, and he always puts his hand on the shoulder. That's his big thing. Here comes Stowers, and let's take a look at our youth player of the ball game, Roddy, who plays for the Mets, Howard Palmetto. He loves hoverboarding, and his favorite Marlin is Kyle Stowers.
I can picture you, Kyle, going around the neighborhood in one of those hoverboards.
I'm sure you can.
You know, just flying around.
Not my cup of tea. So the conversation on the mound between Mike Maddox and George Klassen has come to an end, and here comes Stowers, who has twice singled in this game.
And by the way, pitching has been the cup of tea for the Maddoxes over the years.
Infield back, they play him to pull the pitch. Grounded foul. Went after a first pitch changeup. And I'm sure that first pitch changeup was at the directive of Mike Maddox, who was probably trying to tell Klassen and Heineman he's going to be very aggressive. Let's be careful. So he's hoping his young buck and right-hander can get out of this jam. He got out of one in the third. 1-1 now on Stowers.
You know, it's funny how you configure a lineup, put it together, and here's Kyle Stowers, just the third time hitting leadoff, yet here he is up there with bases loaded.
He is tied for the team lead in homers with 16 with Hernandez. The 2-1. A check swing. He did not go, and now it's 3 balls and a strike on Stowers, and Klassen has no wiggle room here.
This is where, as a hitter, you really have to guess certain pitch, certain location, and if it's not there, you got to take it. Make this guy pitch.
Bases loaded with 2 out for the Marlins, who trail 1-0 here in the last of the 4th. This Friday night crowd here in Miami, and many of which now will rise to their feet. 3-1. Check swing. Did he go? No. And Kyle Stowers draws a bases loaded walk to tie this game.
Let's see. Did he check it? I think he did, but you know what? You do see that call to strike once in a while, but I thought he checked it. And that's the 4th walk issued tonight by Klassen.
And here is Otto Lopez, who's 0 for 2. This is a Angels pitching staff that has struggled this season. A 4.46 ERA. It's 24th in baseball. Otto lays off a slider in the dirt for ball 1. You're starting to sense that the Marlins are ready to pounce here in the inning. And as Hutch just said, 4 walks, 3 here in the 4th by Klassen, who's in a world of trouble. And Lopez flies one down the right field line. That'll twist foul into the seats.
Let's see, this would be a perfect situation for Otto to pick up double number 30 on the year.
Left-hander Taylor Saucedo is loose sitting in the bullpen. Angels have issued more walks than anybody else in baseball. And it's hurting Klassen here in the 4th as Lopez swings and misses. Right through a fastball. It's 1-2. Meanwhile, Michael Peterson is loosening for Miami. Lopez has 54 2-strike hits this season. Little chopper. Klassen will go to first. Stowers ties it. He draws a bases loaded 2-out walk. That's all the Marlins get.
It's Toyota's national sales event with so much summer left to see. From the perfect seats in a RAV4 to reimagining spaces in a Corolla Cross to rooms with a view in a Tundra. Don't you love when summer just clicks?
Lease a new 2026 Toyota Tundra SR5 for $429 a month for 36 months with $54.28 due at signing. That's just $429 a month on the Toyota Tundra.
Toyota keeps your summer going.
Toyota, let's go places.
When I got the news,
my whole world stopped.
I had cancer. My first choice for care was clear. Only Sylvester Comprehensive Cancer Center had treatments no one else could offer, and a team of experts for my cancer.
Always by my side.
Only Sylvester could get me back. Here. Here.
Here.
some and same-day Wi-Fi delivery for instant online magic. Plus, get our best price on gig Wi-Fi this summer before it disappears. Just $50 a month for 5 years. Xfinity, imagine that. And see Minions and Monsters only in theaters.
Barbara's check engine light is on, but a friendly AutoZoner runs a free Fix Finder scan and refers her to a local shop.
For the best deal in South Florida, head to loanDepot Park August 11th through the 13th when the Marlins take on the Pirates. Enjoy deals for the whole family like the Marlins 4 for $44 deal presented by Pepsi. And score 4 tickets plus hot dogs, popcorn, and drinks for $44. Get your tickets at marlins.com/tickets. Top of the 5th inning. This is a 1-1 ball game. Klassen with a 31 pitch bottom of the 4th. Scoreboard brought to you by Werner, Hoffman, Greg, and Garcia. Marlins probably feeling, though, like they should have a little bit more. They're 1 for 6 with runners in scoring position in this game. They've left 7 on base, including 5 in the last 2 innings. So 9-1-2 due up for the Halos. A little surprised Peterson is loosening, and it almost makes you wonder, like, if they're not going to let Phillips face the Angels 3rd time through the lineup.
I mean, he's just reaching 60 pitches with this pitch. You know, you almost get the feeling, is he a starter or is he still a reliever?
Right.
If he's a starter and he can give you 80, 90 pitches, let him go. But maybe that's not the feeling.
Line drive into right and a base hit for Tyler Heineman. And the Angels have the leadoff man on base for the first time tonight. I have to wonder maybe if Peterson is loosening for Trout, who's on deck. In his last start, Phillips threw 65 pitches.
Yeah, who does, and talking about Trout, does have, wow, that's surprising.
So a leadoff single for Heineman, and that's going to knock Tyler Phillips out of this ball game, making his 13th start of the season, his 29th appearance. His night will come to an end. A high leverage arm in Michael Peterson will be on the mound when we return. Marlins and the Angels tied at 1 here in the 5th.
SandCloud chose the Capital One Spark Cash Plus card. Their business earns unlimited 2% cash back on everything they buy. They get big purchasing power so their business can spend more and earn more. What's a yo-wop?
At Ace, our buckets hold so much more than paint. They hold dreams and hope for children. This weekend, make a $5 donation and get a 5-gallon bucket plus 20% off almost anything that fits inside it.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Hey, it's the Good Greek Spiro. I'll get right to the point. Billy has the best nose for moves, and he knows to call Good Greek Moving and Storage, the one the pros trust as the world's only total relocation company. Whether your move is across town, across the country, or across the globe, call Good Greek Moving and Storage for your best move ever. It all starts at goodgreek.com. Good Greek, the official mover of your Miami Marlins.
Good Greek Moving and Storage, your superhero movers.
Mr. Conine, sign our balls. Yeah, please sign our balls.
No problem. So, who do you want to be when you grow up?
I want to be a lawyer like my dad.
Me too. Our dad is an all-star lawyer.
That's amazing. You got such great role models at home. And plenty out here in the field, too.
Marlins baseball is presented by Doral Kia, home of the Pricito, and by the Wells Fargo Active Cash Credit Card. Earn unlimited 2% cash rewards on purchases. Terms apply. Friday night here with the Magic City, Daniel Moskis and Tyler Phillips chatting. Phillips seems to be okay with the decision to take him out of this ball game in the top of the 5th. 61 pitches, 45 strikes, 4 innings, a run, 5 hits. It was earned, the run. 4 strikeouts, 1 walk, and pretty clear here, at least to me, that Clayton McCullough and his staff not comfortable letting Phillips face the Angels for a third time. So here is Wade Meckler with Heineman at first in a 1-1 game. And here's Michael Peterson, whose first pitch is fouled off to the left.
Well, Michael Peterson, we have chronicled the fact all year he's done well with runners that he's inherited. He's inherited 22 runners and only 2 have scored.
One is taken high. Now, you know, the interesting wrinkle is if Heineman, say, were to have gotten out, does Clayton let Phillips face Meckler until there's a base runner?
I think he does.
I think so, too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Meckler waits on a 1-1. A bouncing ball to first. Stowers goes down to second. There's one. The relay throw not in time. But they do force out Heineman at second for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, that's one you're pretty sure you're not going to get a double play. It's not hit that hard. You just want to make sure as a first baseman you get a good throw off to second, and Kyle Stowers did that. No chance for 2. Make sure you get that guy at second.
Nice solid throw down to the bag by Stowers. And here is Trout, who yanks one foul into the Marlins dugout. And what a career it's been for Mike Trout, huh? 35 years old today, 3-time American League MVP. So he's now tied with Mark Reynolds and Alex Rodriguez, who both homered 6 times on their birthdays.
How about that? You know, the sad part about Trout from 2021 through 2024, 4-year period, he averaged 67 games a year.
And still a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Oh yeah, yeah. A lot of lower half injuries, a lot of hamstring problems. Was on the IL once this year with a hamstring injury.
His homer earlier in the game, his first in his last 22 games played.
I think if you're Michael Peterson, and one of the reasons maybe this move was made, you stay with that, because at this stage for Mike Trout, that 99 up, it may be in a little bit. He's not going to get to.
Could be a little tardy.
Yeah.
As he was right there. So you say stick with it?
I say stick with it. I mean, you also could go slider off the plate because Trout will chase.
Now Trout's probably thinking, well, I'll probably chase, and now I've got to find a way to gear up for 99. What am I supposed to do? 2-2.
He stayed with the four-seamer.
Looked like Mack wanted it up above the strike zone,
yeah.
though, and he just tugged it outside. Saw Joe kind of set up upstairs. So now it's full with speed at first. We'll see if they put Meckler in motion. But again, Trout is a strikeout candidate. And there is ball 4. No, strike 3 called. And Trout will challenge, and I think he immediately knew that this is ball 4. But let's be sure. ABS powered by T-Mobile. And that's ball 4.
So a very worthwhile challenge on the part of Mike Trout right there.
He knew it.
Big difference.
His reaction immediately said it all. It's amazing the eye that some of these guys have, even when seeing a 100-mile-an-hour fastball. Peterson tried to shoot the knees, and he almost got it. So in a 1-1 game, here's Shonowell, who takes downstairs for ball 1.
Yeah, the tough part also about making this move, you're going to use a lot of guys out of that bullpen now and depend on a lot of guys.
They needed 10 innings over 3 games in Atlanta from the bullpen. Shonowell hits a fastball to center, but right at Marcy, who makes the catch. Meckler bluffs a tag at second. And now there's 2 away. Michael Peterson, when the Marlins have needed him most with guys on base in the middle innings, has become like a middle innings specialist.
Middle innings high leverage guy, and it was sure good to see him back after he took that ball off the forearm or elbow area.
And here's Neto, who's 0 for 2. Zach Neto yesterday in Baltimore recorded his 20th home run of the season. He became the first shortstop in Angels history with 3 straight 20 double 20 homer seasons. And he takes strike 2. Good front door slider.
You mean Jim Fregosi never did that?
No, how about that?
That's not a good name to Met fans though. Because Jim Fregosi was traded for Nolan Ryan.
Oh, that's a problem. Strike 3, swing and a miss. Peterson goes upstairs with a fastball to strike out Neto. And the Angels leave a pair on here in the 5th. Halfway home here in Miami tonight, still 1-1.
There's a quiet magic at work here. One conjured through time and tradition, and powerful enough to bring any family together.
Chevy drivers across America will do a lot in the next 5 years. But one thing they won't do is pay interest on their new Chevy. Right now, get 0% financing for 5 years on all 2026 Silverado 1500 models. With no payments for 90 days. Because you've earned this summer. Now it's time to go get it.
See your South Florida Chevy dealers.
Bet you can't run as fast as T-Mobile.
Bet you I can.
Well, you better pick it up, because T-Mobile now has the fastest 5G home internet.
Watch this. I'm okay.
T-Mobile now has the fastest 5G home internet, just $35 a month.
Change is inevitable.
Okay.
But one thing will always remain the same. We'll always lend you a hand when you need one.
Okay. See you next week.
All right.
Good night.
Good night.
Welcome back. Time now for our Ocean Bank Minor League Report, which highlights Eliezer Dishmay in this fantastic performance. He had 6 no-hit frames with 10 strikeouts for the Double-A Blue Wahoos. Guys, along the way, just walked 1, did all of that in just 80 pitches. Guys, he leaves the no-hit with the no-hitter intact, and he also has a .33 ERA in his last 6 starts.
A young man, Kelly, who hopped into the Marlins system back in 2022. And he got himself a nice promotion after 7 excellent starts with High A Beloit this season. He's been very good, as you're pointing out there, for Pensacola. So keep an eye on the 21-year-old Eliezer Dishmay. Griffin Conine batting, leading things off in a 1-1 game. Taylor Saucedo out there pitching now for Los Angeles. I want to say Anaheim every time, but
well, have they had more names?
So they were the
Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim.
Right. They were the California Angels.
California Angels at one point.
Just the Los Angeles Angels. Bouncing ball goes foul.
We were talking about it recently. Relievers of today compared to 20-30 years ago usually have more in their repertoire, as does Saucedo. You know, a lot of times relievers would be 2-pitch guys. That's why they were in the bullpen. But now you get a guy, left-hander's got a sweeper, 4-seamer, slider, changeup.
So here is the veteran lefty and Hawaiian-born Taylor Saucedo, who strikes out Conine with a sweeper. One away here in the last of the fifth. Well, the Magic is going to return to loanDepot Park on Friday, August 21st. Harry Potter night's coming back when the Marlins take on the Nationals. A ticket package includes an exclusive Harry Potter-themed baseball cap with your house colors. You can get your tickets at marlins.com/Harry Potter. It's Pokemon Go night here at the ballpark tonight. Here is Xavier Edwards batting with nobody on and 1 out. Saucedo, a 21st round pick in 2015 out of Tennessee Wesleyan University in Athens, Tennessee.
So where in Hawaii?
Honolulu, of course.
Right in Honolulu. Okay.
Right there on the Big Island.
Diamond Head on the beach. Get the surfboard.
Sounds like a nice life. Groceries are expensive, though. Throw to first. Got him. That's a really nice play by Vaughn Grissom if they did indeed get Edwards. Marlins are thinking about this. And they say play on. That's a heck of a play.
Yeah, it's a really nice play with Xavier the runner. You know, as Grissom knows, he's going to have to unload quickly, make a good throw. Got a one-hop pick over there by Shanawell. Yeah, off the bat, off the get-go, you thought this was going to be a base hit. But finally played by Grissom at third.
So quickly 2 out. Here's Owen Casey after a strikeout and a ground out. Casey swings through a good slider from Saucedo, who really struggled last season. Had a 7.43 ERA with Seattle. The Mariners non-tendered him in the offseason. The Angels signed him to a minor league deal in December. And he gets ahead of Casey 0-2. Just a soft tossing left-hander facing a slugging powerful left-handed bat in Casey. And there's strike 3 called. That is a perfect bottom of the 5th inning for Saucedo.
3 ice cold Jägermeister shots, please. Those look warm.
Serve it cold or don't serve it at all. Jägermeister. Damn, that's cold.
Your entertainment the way you want it. With Spectrum TV, all these streaming apps are included at no extra cost. So you can watch anything.
I could use a second set of hands.
And so it begins.
Movies.
Pops and Wild. Dream Team.
Series.
We'd like the first pop.
Sports. News.
Here's a look at today's top stories.
Reality.
Do have fun, if you can.
Exclusive originals.
Better watch yourself.
And even more of your favorites with live TV. Stream across your devices and watch anywhere. At home or out and about.
I'm just getting started.
It's the entertainment experience you've been waiting for. Streaming apps included at no extra cost.
This is Fear Factor.
With live TV and on demand. All together, all in one place for you to enjoy.
We take care of each other. That's what real heroes do.
I'll see you out there.
Get it all with Spectrum TV.
When you give someone your word, you keep it. Over 100 years ago, soldiers built USAA on that promise. Today, we're still taking care of the military, their spouses, kids, and then grandkids. USAA, taking care of our own.
We're tied at 1 apiece here at the top of the 6th. A big congratulations is in order for Otto Lopez, who was named the Marlins 2026 Heart and Hustle Award winner. The award is presented annually by the Major League Baseball Players Alumni Association, recognizing one player from each club who demonstrates a passion for baseball and embodies its values, its spirits, and traditions. Clayton said before the game, Otto, he is a hard-nosed player who never complains, is always desires to get better. He added that Otto is also a great teammate who has the ability to touch everyone in the clubhouse. Guys, Otto Lopez became just the second Dominican-born player in Marlins history to win that franchise award following Marcelo Zuna in 2016.
Well, thank you so much for that, Kelly, and congratulations in order, of course, to Otto.
And I'm happy to say, as a member of the baseball alumni, I have the opportunity to vote on that.
Oh, do you?
Yes.
Oh, that's excellent.
Otto, well deserving.
And on the other side, in the other dugout, Mike Trout was named the Angels Heart and Hustle Award winner for the 5th time in his career. He was actually the overall MLB Heart and Hustle Award winner back in 2012. And he just told Zach Neto to get the heck out of my way, and that's my spot.
It's my spot.
On Grissom with a swing and a miss.
So right now, Clayton trying to get a couple of innings out of Michael Peterson.
Which makes sense given the way that he had to work the bullpen there in Atlanta. Top of the 6th. 1-1.
You know, there are a couple of ways to look at it when you're managing and you decide to make this move, bring Michael Peterson in. You realize also that you have Sandy going tomorrow. So you're banking on another good 6-7 innings out of Sandy Alcantara.
Yeah, you're right. Grissom 0 for 2 at the plate with a fly out and a strikeout. And strike 3 called. And Grissom will challenge this slider called strike 3. I'm not sure he's going to win this challenge. In fact, I think he might feel a little silly.
Yeah,
ABS powered by T-Mobile.
I thought this was a pretty good pitch.
Oh, jeez. Indeed it was. The Angels have one challenge remaining, just like the Marlins.
Boy, that's a good combo that Michael has. He's got that fastball 99, 100. Then he gets snap off a slider right on the outer part of the plate.
2 straight strikeouts for Peterson. Here's Ballesteros, who has crushed the baseball tonight. The single earlier in the game in the 2nd left his bat right around 107 miles an hour. And then he lined out to right field. In the 4th, he hit that one at 108. And he lays off a fastball at 100. 1 ball and 1 strike on Ballesteros.
You notice too what Michael did. He started him with a changeup.
Just to keep him off balance.
Late on that.
So do you stick with that, or do you try to bury a changeup now and strike him out?
No, you don't go changeup.
Okay.
You could try to bury a slider. Or you stay up with the fastball. Triple digits, you're going to get it by him.
There's the slider.
Yep. Now, I don't think you want to go 3-2. Maybe a fastball, or he may go back to the slider. I think fastball, though, 4-seamer.
But he missed too high for ball 3. Ballesteros, a big-time prospect with the Cubs. Just no room for him. Yeah, that missed inside for ball 4. Make sure you stay tuned till the 7th inning for the stretch, brought to you by Celsius Energy Drinks. You know, Ballesteros in a recent Marlins pickup, very similar boats. Jonathan Long, who was acquired in the deal for Braxton Garrett, was also blocked in Chicago. Marlins are happy to have him. Clayton's going to go back to the bullpen. Josh Eknes is going to come on in relief of Michael Peterson. Go ahead run at first base for the Angels when we return.
At Ace, our buckets hold so much more than paint. They hold dreams and hope for children. This weekend, make a $5 donation and get a 5-gallon bucket plus 20% off almost anything that fits inside it.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Optimal poop in 10 days. New IAMS Proactive 5 for healthy digestion.
You hit your personal best, vowed to never rest, destined for new heights under Friday Night Lights. Weekends at the rec leagues, home runs in the big leagues. At the heartache of pain, trust experts with your game. With leading edge care on sprains, strains, or tears, and research that's academic based, come back at your own pace. The University of Miami Sports Medicine Institute is ready to help you recover your game.
Baseball is heating up, and this summer, Hard Rock Bet has the hottest betting odds in Florida. Vig, Juice, Fee, whatever you call it, we're cutting it to just 10 cents. That's flat 10-cent lines for winner, spread, and over-under pregame bets. The same bets, even better odds. All August long on the only legal app to bet the Marlins. Hard Rock Bet. Get your bets in before the summer sale ends.
Make sure you come out for the Marlins T-Mobile Colombian Heritage Celebration tomorrow at 4:10. Marlins are going to take on the Angels, and you can take home an exclusive jersey with your ticket package. Get your tickets at marlins.com/Columbia. It'll be a party. It'll be very festive here tomorrow night. It's a fireworks Friday here tonight. Plenty of celebration after the game, and Marlins hoping there's some fireworks offensively here down the stretch as Josh Eknes comes on in relief of Michael Peterson, who leaves responsible for Ballesteros at first. Peraza with a ground ball to second. Edwards to Lopez to Stowers, not in time. Boy, did that look close.
It sure did. Naked eye, I thought he had him, but they get the right line. Yeah, I thought he had him, but it was close.
You know what, Hud? We have the benefit of replay, and you can tell me.
Let's see
if he's got him. Yeah, a little tough to tell.
Can't tell by that.
Challenge brought to you by Warner, Hoffman, Gregg, and Garcia. Ooh. I don't know. I think right there. Stop it right there.
He got him.
I think that's enough.
I think he got him.
I think that's enough. Absolutely. Boy, we'd be really good at that, Hud. We've quickly rendered a verdict.
See, we would do it. We would probably render the verdicts too fast, though. You know, yeah, we got.
Hey, they got to the conclusion quickly.
All right.
There you go. Call is overturned. A good challenge by the Marlins in an inning-ending 4-6-3 double play off the bat of Oswald Peraza.
Mr. Conine, sign our balls. Yeah, please sign our balls.
No problem. So, who do you want to be when you grow up?
I want to be a lawyer like my dad. Me too. Our dad is an all-star lawyer.
That's amazing. You got such great role models at home. And plenty out here in the field, too.
Take one defender. Add a large helping of sand. Mix in some rocks. Freeze to -40 for several days. Then soak in 35 inches of water. Bake at 122 Fahrenheit. Finally, serve on a plateau of your choosing.
Explore available offers now at LandRoverUSA.com.
Slow roasted chicken at Taco Bell. It's inside the new Cantina Chicken Rolled Quesadilla. Yeah, it's in there. He gets it. The new Cantina Chicken Rolled Quesadilla, only at Taco Bell.
The Marlins Colombian Heritage Celebration returns to loanDepot Park. Arrive early to kick off the party with a pregame heritage parade around the warning track. Rep your roots with an exclusive Colombian jersey. T-Mobile Colombian Heritage Celebration. Catch the fighting fish in action against the Angels. And keep the party going with our Celsius post-game concert series. The celebration starts here. Get your tickets at marlins.com/Colombia.
Bottom of the 6th inning. Scoreboard brought to you by Werner, Hoffman, Greg, and Garcia. Tied at 1. 1 pitch in 2 outs for Josh Eknish.
Yeah, how about that job?
Play.
Look at that, 4-6-3. Good turn. Look at how Otto got out of the way and gave himself a good angle for the strong throw to first base.
Well, Jimenez leads off for the Marlins, who have scored 1 run on 4 hits. Saucedo wants a little more. He'll get a little more. And the only run that is scored for the Marlins tonight came courtesy of Kyle Stowers, who drew a bases loaded walk in the 4th. So both starters are out of the game. Neither one will factor into tonight's decision as Jimenez pops this up. Shallow center. Peraza out. Trout in. And the basket catch waist high by Mike Trout for out 1.
Another lot of ground for Trout to cover. He's covered a lot of ground tonight.
Here's your game recap. Trout with his 6th birthday homer. And the Stowers bases loaded walk. But not a whole lot of offense to speak of. Maybe Jacob Marcy could change that. Marlins have been okay at times during interleague play this season, 17-22, but earlier this summer they had an 8-game interleague winning streak. There's Sean Anderson, the former Marlin. Grew up here in South Florida.
That might have caught just a little piece of that top part of the strike zone.
And now the Marlins are without challenges.
Yeah.
By the way, that 8-game interleague winning streak for the Marlins still intact. Little flare into shallow center. Trout racing on again, and he goes into a dive, and he can't make the catch. Marcy's hung up between first and second. Here's the throw back to the bag, and it's dropped by Shanoel. And Marcy is safe. That was eventful there. Woo. That comes out in the wash as a single, but it's much more than that.
Boy, Trout got there as soon as he hit the ground, though the ball came out, and then he alertly pounced on it. I like the thought by Jacob, but get back there because he would have been nailed. There are no errors on that play, but he put the brakes on, slipped a little bit, but was able to get back to first base.
So the go-ahead run at first for the Marlins here in the bottom of the 6th.
But a 2-hit night for Jacob Marcy. The bunt base hit back in the 4th inning, and that hit there.
Game 2 coverage begins at 3:45 tomorrow afternoon. Sandy's on the mound. 4:10 first pitch. So Saucedo facing Mack. Well, the Angels think that he might try to bunt. Vaughn Grissom is in on the grass at 3rd. See Neto playing him up the middle. He's back. Peraza shading the hole at 2nd. Shanoel holding on Marcy, who I don't think would try to run here. But they're not convinced that the Marlins are swinging away. He's swinging away, and a little dribbler up the middle fielded by Neto, who's off balance. Throw to first is in time.
Well, I thought that ball was going into center field, but Neto covered a lot of ground, getting from where he was at his position and then really fielding it all the way over on the right side of the infield.
Thought he made that look pretty easy.
Yeah.
Didn't he? And here comes Kurt Suzuki. Here's the play again.
And he's over on the right side all the way there, and then makes it. He made that look easy, and that was a tough play.
Suzuki takes Saucedo out. Anderson is coming in for the Halos when we return.
Winning doesn't just happen by accident. It starts long before the crowd. With preparation, the work, the focus, the discipline to be ready when the moment comes. At WHG, we know every case is earned before you ever step inside the courtroom. Because whether it's baseball or a lawsuit, winning belongs to the ones who prepare for it. WHG. Preparation wins.
Get 0% APR for up to 48 months or $750 customer cash on the purchase of a new 2026 Sportage.
Baseball is heating up, and this summer, Hard Rock Bet has the hottest betting odds in Florida. Vig, Juice, Fee, whatever you call it, we're cutting it to just 10 cents. That's flat 10-cent lines for winner, spread, and over-under pregame bets. The same bets, even better odds. All August long on the only legal app to bet the Marlins. Hard Rock Bet. Get your bets in before the summer sale ends.
Don't miss a pitch this season with Marlins.tv. Brought to you by Werner, Hoffman, Greg, and Garcia. Stream the entire season within Marlins territory, at home or on the go. Stay connected all season long. Visit Marlins.tv for details and start streaming today. Sean Anderson is on in relief of Taylor Saucedo. Anderson made 4 appearances, including 2 starts for the Marlins back in 2024. And his contract selected from AAA Salt Lake prior to Tuesday's game. This is his 3rd major league stint of the season. His 87th career major league appearance, as his slider to Esteri Ruiz misses high.
Yeah, last time out did a nice job for them in Baltimore. A couple of innings. Gave up just 1 hit, no runs, and had 3 strikeouts.
With 2 outs, you know Marcy's going on contact. Plenty of speed out there at second as Miami looks to take its first lead of the night. And the 2-0s taken outside for ball 3 with Stowers on deck. Sean Anderson was born in Coral Springs, went to American Heritage High. And there's ball 4. 4 non-competitive pitches from Anderson to Ruiz. And the Marlins have first and second with 2 out. It's got Kurt Suzuki biting his lip, and Mike Maddox probably wondering, how on earth have we walked so many guys this season?
Yeah, and that's certainly what drives managers crazy, because you bring him in to pitch to the right-hander. He walks the right-hander. Now he's got to go after Kyle Stowers right here.
Right. The assignment was, let's not see how difficult we could make this. But the degree of difficulty ratchets up. Stowers pops this up outside of third into the lower level of the seats here at loanDepot Park. Strike 1 on Stowers, who's 2 for 2 tonight with a couple of singles and an RBI walk with the bases loaded.
Yeah, so the Angels haven't retired Kyle tonight.
Stowers is thinking about retiring the Angels with a big swing. Stowers, fly ball, shallow center field, sinking fast, down for a base hit. Marcy will score. Kyle Stowers has his 3rd hit of the night. This one his biggest yet. The Marlins take their first lead. It's 2-1.
Second ball he's hit to center field. He's just kind of blooped out there in the right spot. There's a changeup from Anderson. Kyle doesn't hit it all that well, but just dropped it in the perfect spot in front of Mike Trout.
Shades of your 56th degree I heard about on Tuesday afternoon, huh? Little backspin.
Yeah.
Right next to the stick. So first and third with 2 outs, and here's Otto Lopez, who was searching for some redemption here. He grounded back to the pitcher in the 4th inning with the bases loaded and 2 out. A little late on that fastball. 1 ball, 1 strike on Otto. 18th 3-hit game of Kyle Stowers' career. Ruiz at third. Anderson on the relief of Saucedo, who's going to be charged with that run. Ground ball up the middle to the backhand of Peraza, whose long throw to first is in time. But the Marlins take the lead thanks to Kyle Stowers.
Naruto returns to loanDepot Park. Take home an all-new Akatsuki jersey. Then catch the Fighting Fish take on the Washington Nationals. Naruto Day, Sunday, August 23rd, 1:40 p.m.
Hey, buddy, what's going on?
I'm trying to run as fast as T-Mobile.
Well, you better pick it up because now T-Mobile has the fastest 5G home internet.
Really? Well, how's this? Ah.
T-Mobile's even faster.
It is?
Yep.
Show me.
Watch and learn, my friend. This is how fast T-Mobile home internet is. I'm okay.
T-Mobile now has the fastest 5G home internet, just $35 a month and a 5-year price guarantee.
Don't be mad. Do you have any glue?
You asked for it, so we delivered. It's the Throwback Value Menu from Pizza Hut. Your favorite starting at $3, featuring a personal pan just like you remember, and the iconic stuffed crust for only $10 and more. Check out everything on the Throwback Value Menu, only at Pizza Hut.
He's gonna score. Swinging a drive in the air. This is pretty deep putt. He did it. Way back. Whoa. And he got it. In time. Well, make sure you score big on authentic gear at MLBshop.com. From official jerseys and memorabilia to hats and hoodies, we've got the season covered. Visit MLBshop.com/Marlins, the official source for your Marlins gear. 2-1 Marlins lead. Josh Lowe batting, facing Josh Eknes, who threw 1 pitch in the top of the 6th inning and got 2 outs. 7th inning scoreboard brought to you by Warner, Hoffman, Gregg, and Garcia.
Got to be careful. Josh Lowe can take you deep. A few years ago with Tampa, back in 23, he had 20 home runs.
Eight homers this season. Good sweeper, 1 and 2. Blake Wyman now loosening. Missed outside.
Boy, Eknes has that good pop. Saw that 99 with the fastball. Pitch prior to that, a terrific sweeper.
Round pick by the Marlins was Eknes in 23. Not highly touted, but the Marlins saw a very intriguing arm, and now he's a very interesting bullpen prospect, I'd say. 3-2, ball 4. He lost him. He was ahead of him 1-2 there. That'll frustrate you if you're a pitcher.
Yeah, especially the leadoff guy leading off the inning.
And here is Heineman. That's a beautiful bunt. And Stowers with a little lob to first. Angels making no bones about that. They were having him drop down a sacrifice bunt the whole way. So now the tying run is at second with 1 out. Meckler will bat after a quick message from Warner, Hoffman, Gregg, and Garcia.
Winning doesn't just happen by accident. At WHG, we know every case is earned before you ever step inside the courtroom. WHG, preparation wins.
You don't see that too often on the road, trying to move a runner over to tie. You know, you might do that if you're the home team.
You know, the little things there too that we often take for granted. You can't lose any concentration. Edwards has got to remember, I've got to go cover first, right? Stowers has got to know that I've got to charge. Meckler fouls one off. It's 0-2.
Stowers also had a decision to make, and it was borderline. Did he have a play at second base?
He thought about it, didn't he?
I know he did.
Because he almost got his little lob to Edwards, caught him in between. So low at second, Meckler at the plate. He's 0 for 3. Batting average down to .304. Bouncing ball up the middle, right to Otto Lopez, who throws out Meckler at first. Low goes to third, but now there's 2 outs for Trout. There was probably a day in Mike Trout's career where this decision may have actually been one, but I think we're at a point where you pitch to him.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You got a left-hander, Shonwell, on deck.
But there was a point in his career where he was so feared you might think about walking.
It wouldn't have mattered who was on deck.
Yep. Isn't that amazing? So no balls and 1 strike to count on Trout. Homered in the first, struck out in the third, walked in the fifth. Tying run at third with 2 outs as Trout takes strike 2.
Boy, he's thrown a couple of really good sweepers on him.
So what do you do now?
Go off the plate with it.
And if you miss with the first, just keep going back?
Yeah, you could still, with his velocity, he could still tie him up inside with a good fastball.
There's the first one. Maybe up and in here with the heater.
Let's see what Schneider has on his card.
Yeah. Bouncing ball right back to Eknes. Edwards backs it up. The throw to first, not in time. That split the wickets of Eknes. Low scores from third. It was hit so softly, it almost looked like it spooked Eknes, and he just couldn't field it.
It's like getting a changeup hit back to you. You think it's going to be harder. He was right there. Did not field the ball, and because of that, the Angels have tied it.
And it just bounced out in front of that lip on the mound. And you do countless hours of pitchers fielding practice work on the backfields in spring training for those situations right there. So it's a 2-2 game here in the 7th. Thought maybe Edwards had a play, but Trout was too quick. Shonwell is 0 for 2, and he hits that in the air deep right center field. Way back there, onto the warning track, at the wall and gone. And the Angels lead 4-2.
Well, I tell you, it's the little things. You think about PFP. I don't want to say routine, but it's a play that has to be made. It's not made, and all of a sudden the Angels with the next batter, Shonowell, taking the sweeper deep for his 7th home run of the year.
Now Neto flies one down the right field line, foul into the seats. The misplay by Eknes off the bat of Trout allowed him to tie it. And a 2-run homer by Shonowell has made it 4-2. That was the first home run surrendered by Josh Eknes in his career. Calvin Fauché. Neto shaking his head. 0 for 3 tonight with a ground out and a couple of strikeouts.
Once again, you put yourself in that position expecting 4 or 5 relievers all to be successful, and it's tough. Right now it's tough for Josh Eknes trying to regroup.
And he misses outside on Neto with a fastball. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Misplay that would have ended the inning has led to 3 runs. And that's flown in the air to left. They actually do go E1 on Trout. No RBI. So 3 unearned runs here in the top of the 7th inning as we take you to the 7th inning stretch, brought to you by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Welcome to the stretch presented by Celsius Energy Drinks. Well, this game certainly turned around real quick with that home run from Nolan Shanuel, but things seem to be going in the right direction for Kyle Stowers, who had 4 hits against the Sacramento A's. It felt like a long time ago. But now Stowers is getting the bat going again. He singles to right field. In fact, Stowers didn't have just 1 hit tonight. As a matter of fact, he had 3, a couple of different times, just blooping the ball into the outfield, and he also drove in a run on a walk. This was the run that, of course, we thought could have potentially led the Marlins to a win. Hopefully he can. We'll be back to Marlins baseball after a quick word from our friends at Celsius.
Well, here we go. Bottom of the 7th inning. Marlins are trailing the Angels 4-2. And here comes a major league debut. It's always a special occasion for any big leaguer. And this is Blake Wyman, a native of Littleton, Colorado. Goes about 6'3", 225. He's 30 years old. It's been an adventurous professional career. And here is Wyman. Tell you what, making your debut out of the bullpen in a high leverage situation. A 2-run lead to preserve in the 7th. And Augustine Ramirez is going to pinch hit. And the first one that he sees is in there for a strike. Four games this season for Ramirez, batting .227. He had a hit last night's ball game, did Augustine.
I'm sure that felt good for him after his return.
Certainly. Wyman, the 7th Angel to debut this season. That also includes Klassen, who started this game. Drive into center field and a base hit.
That's a good way to start. You pinch hit Gus there because Griffin, Conine, the DH, and that way Augustine can just take over in that DH spot. So good way to start things. Nice pinch hit, rip up the middle.
Augustine at first, and here's Xavier Edwards, who takes strike one, a sinker at 90 miles an hour from Wyman. Edwards 0 for 3 tonight. Let's see if the Marlins have a late rally in them. Bit of a deflating top half of this inning, with Eknes unable to field the ground ball off the bat of Trout. Edwards sends one into right, and right there is Lowe to make the catch. One gone. And the first career out is coming back into the dugout. That'll get authenticated.
And we'll see another pinch hitter.
That will be Heriberto Hernandez, who has had plenty of success pinch hitting this season. 6 for 15 with 3 homers, 4 RBIs, batting .400. And in his career, Hernandez a .360 hitter with 4 homers and 7 RBIs in these pinch hit situations.
Those are great numbers,
aren't they? Strike one call. One the count on Hernandez, who pops one up. Shallow center, Peraza ranging out, and he makes the catch for out number 2. Marlins trying not to spoil the leadoff pinch hit single from Ramirez, and here comes Jimenez. Wyman's got his first 2 outs in the big leagues.
Remember, too, we didn't want to bring it up again, and we hoped it didn't come back to bite you. But look back to that 3rd inning. Remember, the Marlins had 1st and 3rd and nobody out.
Yep.
And couldn't cash in.
Wyman, 30 years old, grew up in Littleton, Colorado, went to the University of Kansas. 35th round pick in 2019 by the Nationals. Didn't even sign. Bouncing ball, that's going to sneak through the right side, a base hit. Ramirez will stop at second. And now the tying run is on base for the Marlins with Jacob Marcy coming to the plate. I think they were going to pull him back. They are. Javier Sanoja is going to hit for him. Clayton unloading his bench here in the 7th. but for good reason. He cannot waste any time. He's got a matchup he likes. He's got to go to it. And here's another Sanoha. So that leaves only Brian Navarretto on the bench.
Well, when you have that opportunity and you've got the right-handers on the bench and you know you're going to get those matchups in your favor, you got to go for it.
A couple of hits and 5 at-bats with a couple of RBIs for Sanoha pinch hitting this season. Sanoha takes ball 1 inside from the lefty Wyman. Two 2-0.
See if Javi can get his pitch right here.
Jose Fermin, hard throwing right-hander loosening. Sanoha 4 homers, 39 RBIs on the year. Tying run at first with 2 outs here in the last of the 7th for the Marlins. And the 2-0 pitch drops in there for a strike.
Yeah, not thinking slider. He was thinking something a little straighter, 4-seamer, 2-seamer maybe.
Chopper out in front of the plate. Wyman spins and fires. And he tosses a scoreless inning in his major league debut.
We all want more. But these days, the more we want is changing. Not just more power, but more confidence. Not just more details, but more warmth. Not just more tech, but more peace of mind. That's why Mazda has been named Consumer Reports' safest new car brand. The Mazda CX-90.
Most men over 40 look into the mirror and see this, when they could be seeing this. Most men over 40 look into the mirror and see this, when they could be seeing this. Most men over 40 look into the mirror and see this, when they could be using this. Particle 6-in-1 Face Cream for Men, the first of its kind anti-aging cream designed specifically for men. Fights eye bags, dark spots, and wrinkles. Visit ParticleMen.com and use the promo code on your screen to receive 25% off your entire order. Plus, we've got free shipping and a 30-day money-back guarantee. www.ParticleMen.com. Because seeing is believing.
Let's be honest, painting can be a pain.
This doesn't look good.
How much did we spend at that paint store?
Way too much.
That's why we made Behr Dynasty, the #1 rated interior paint at an everyday low price. Go with Behr, exclusively at the Home Depot.
Miami Marlins baseball is brought to you by the Wells Fargo Active Cash Credit Card. Earn unlimited 2% cash rewards on purchases. Terms apply. And by Hard Rock Bet, the official betting partner of the Miami Marlins. Busy night out there on South Beach. Interesting ball game here at loanDepot Park. Angels leading 4-2 as we go to the top of the 8th. Josh Eknes charged with 3 runs, nothing earned there in the 7th. Heriberto Hernandez now in left. Ruiz goes from left to center. Javier Sanoha, who pinch hit, is in right. And on the mound is Calvin Fauché. who needs to keep this right where it's at. And Vaughn Grissom leads things off. He's 0 for 3 tonight.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, you think of these as high leverage situations if it's a tie game, if you're up by a run, but it's every bit high leverage even when you're down by 2 to keep it that way.
Especially when you've dropped 3 straight and in danger of falling to a game under 500 should you not come back in this one this evening. For as much as the Angels have struggled this season, their bullpen has actually been pretty good as that sweeper has called the ball.
I think it was challenged by Joe. Maybe
yeah,
not.
He said he wanted the challenge.
Yeah,
but they don't have any left. That's the problem.
That's a good point. That's what home plate umpire Jonathan Pyra said. Hey, you got none left.
Yeah. I gave you 2 shots. Not going to matter anyways. Grissom sends that one up towards the rafters. Edwards waits for it to come down. 1 away.
O'Shea had a good inning the other night in Atlanta. Gave up a couple of hits, no runs. He's been kind of a strikeout guy lately. He's picked up 7 strikeouts over his last 2 2/3 innings now.
There's the flame-throwing Ben Joyce, product of the University of Tennessee. There's a swing and a miss. So Marlins at one point this season had won 8 consecutive interleague games in a row. Now they dragged the league's longest active interleague losing streak into tonight's matchup here with the Angels. They've lost 6 in a row. That dates back to July 10th.
You know, speaking of flamethrowers, I think a lot of people were surprised that Mason Miller stayed in San Diego.
Yeah. I wonder if he was. So much scuttlebutt about what was going to happen there.
So all the Padres did was add 2 veteran starters to their rotation.
Moises Ballesteros waits on a 1-2 and swings and misses. Pop out and a strikeout for Fauché. A nice start for him here in the 8th.
Yeah, that was a good sinker. You got 2-seamer. Watch that ball sink down and away. Got a good hitter. Ballesteros swings the bat well.
So 2 quick outs for Fauché. Here is Peraza. He's 1 for 3 tonight. Venezuelan infielder playing in his 5th major league season. Swing and a miss, 1-1. He was traded by the Yankees to the Angels last July for a minor leaguer and some future considerations. Swing and a miss, 1-2. Joyce loosening for the bottom of the 8th. Marlins trailing 4-2. They're out hitting the Angels 8-6. But one very costly error has the Angels feeling like they might just steal a game here this weekend.
Yeah, another big number stands out too. 11 left on base.
Oh. Did Joe just whiff on that pitch?
That ball came back. That was another one of those sinkers that had terrific movement.
Well, that's a little crazy.
See the ball? He reaches out for it and it comes back. He whiffed totally and it got him on the shin guard.
Right on the knee.
Up on the knee.
Jeez. So now the count is full on Peraza. Game 2 at 4:10 tomorrow afternoon, and the series will wrap up at 1:40 on Sunday.
Really, really good pitching matchup tomorrow.
Yes, it is. Sandy Alcantara versus Walbert Urania, a rookie for the Angels who has a 2.54 ERA.
And Sandy coming off National League Pitcher of the Week honors.
Another foul ball off the bat of Peraza. The 9th pitch that he sees. Here it comes, and Fauché struck him out with a sweeper. Well, we go to the bottom of the 8th. Marlins needing 2 to tie.
Mr. Conine, sign our ball. Yeah, please sign our ball.
No problem. So, who do you want to be when you grow up?
I want to be a lawyer like my dad. Me too. Our dad is an all-star lawyer.
That's amazing. You got such great role models at home, and plenty out here in the field too.
You can never have too much of a good thing. That's why USAA didn't stop at car insurance. For over 100 years, we've continued to grow to provide the military community and their families with a full range of auto, home, life insurance, checking, and banking options that all come with our exceptional service. So you know we'll always have your back. USAA, taking care of our own.
Same-day delivery for free. For real. Members get more at Lowe's.
This is gonna do it! The Marlins walk off with a grand slam! This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Miami Marlins. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, while the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Miami Marlins. Look at that party. Here is indeed the right-handed flame-throwing Ben Joyce, who's famous for a fastball that has in his career reached 105.5 miles an hour. That is a first pitch sinker at 97, swung on and missed by Joe Mack, 0-1.
Yeah, fastballs and sinkers, and it's a fresh arm because he's missed over 110 games with shoulder inflammation. He's just recently been activated.
Mack 0 for 3. In college, Joyce became one of the most dominant relievers in college baseball history, but it always wasn't that way. When he was in high school in Knoxville, Tennessee, he was 5 feet 4 inches tall and 120 pounds when he first tried out. And then, well, as you can tell, he did indeed experience a rather large growth spurt.
He experienced a velocity spurt.
Yes, he did. He certainly did. Joyce only pitched 4 1/3 innings last season for a right shoulder injury, ended his year as he strikes out Mack looking at a fastball at 103 miles an hour. 103.
Yeah, 103 and not really straight either with movement. Wow.
Come get yourself a little bit of that. Fairbanks and King loosening. There is Esteri Ruiz. He's 1 for 1. Fastball missed a little high at 101.
Yeah, Ruiz has done his job. Base hit, walked a couple of times.
What? 101 shoots the knees on the inside corner. It's been a long road to recovery too for Joyce, who after beginning the season on the injured list had a little interruption during his rehab. He didn't even start a rehab assignment until July. Broken back ground ball left side, and the throw to first by Guzman is in time. And Ruiz is saying, take a look at this. That is Guzman, who's now into the ball game for Grissom at third.
Yeah, a little harder to get out of the box when you get jammed. You're a right-handed hitter, and even though Ruiz has the speed, he got jammed. Let's see, did Shanoel stay on the bag? It's not on the bag there. Not sure if he got it back.
Oh, man. As close as it gets, don't you think?
Yeah, and I think that's what Ruiz was looking at.
Well, now there's something wrong with Jonathan Parra, who was hit. Watch Parra get hit by a bat. Oh, broken bat.
Oh.
Knocked him right upside the head.
And even Ruiz looking back a little bit. And again, when you get jammed, a right-handed hitter, you kind of have to, you're stepping back in the box, so you're not getting out front, getting that great jump out of the batter's box.
Meanwhile, the challenge is still going. I'm not too sure there's going to be enough evidence to overturn it. Let's see.
Yeah, it's hard to tell if there's a part on the bag, the cleat, part of the shoe.
Calling the field stands, the runner's out.
Yeah.
Miami will lose their down.
Kind of felt like that was going to be the case there. So Denzer Guzman throws out Ruiz. And there's 2 away. No additional defensive changes for the Angels here in the 8th. Just Guzman at third for Grissom. And there's 2 out rather quickly. Here's Stowers. Facing Joyce, who's appearing for just the 2nd time this season. He made his triumphant return a couple of days ago in Baltimore.
We'll always know that Kyle Stowers can handle heat.
Mason Miller?
Yeah.
That's the sprinkler, isn't it? I know he calls it the sinker, but that's like his. That's his
kind of like his changeup.
Yeah, it's kind of like his trademark pitch.
Yeah. Surprised they didn't challenge that.
Ripped into right, and a base hit for Stowers. How about he turns and burns and gets out in front of a 101-mile-an-hour heater?
Yeah, a couple of bloops on pitches less than 101, and then he turns on that, and that's a hard hit ball, and it's also a 4-hit game for Kyle Stowers. Good for him. Keeps the inning alive.
Just the 5th time in his career he's had 4 more hits in a game. 2nd time this season. He had 4 hits against Philadelphia in Philadelphia on June 17th. Make it the 3rd time. He also got 4 hits in Sacramento on July 3rd. So here's Otto Lopez, who's 0 for 4. Broken back ground ball hit softly up the middle. Neto steps on the bag and the side is retired. 4-2 Angels will go to the 9th.
I'm Jay, and this is my home. My first big purchase with help from loanDepot. This is where I play my favorite music. This is where I grow my small garden. It is here that I laugh. It is here that I learn. It's my sanctuary. It's my place. It is my home. And home means everything to me.
Spectrum Business delivers commitment with every connection across the country. So where are we now? In Charlotte, our connected platform enables AI-powered security, so you're in full control of the operation. At the same time, in Columbus, we're enhancing performance with dedicated fiber. And in Daytona, we're helping data keep pace with a custom-built network. We turn service into partnership. Spectrum Business.
Did he just leave?
Gravite, the new cologne for men by Particle. Visit trygravite.com. Use the promo code and get 25% off.
Bring him back, please.
The DQ Blizzard Double Flip Deal is here. Buy 1 Blizzard treat and get a second for just 99 cents.
99 cents? That's bananas.
1, 2, 3, we got a DQ flavor, Savannah Bud. The Blizzard Double Flip Deal. Limited time. Get it in the DQ app.
Now back here at loanDepot Park, game 1 of a 3-game weekend series between the Marlins and the Angels. And Los Angeles leads 4-2 over Miami. Here's your starting pitching matchup tomorrow. Coverage begins at 3:45 right here on Marlins.tv. Urania versus Alcantara. No, not that Urania.
Now we talked about Clayton banking on Sandy going deep. 20 of his 24 starts this year, Sandy Alcantara's gone 6 or more innings.
He is having an outstanding season. Jose Siri is going to pinch hit for Josh Lowe with John King on the mound now. He pitched yesterday in Atlanta.
Those guys may have done that when they were with the Rays. Siri pinch hitting for Josh Lowe.
Yeah, you're right. They may very well have. In fact, I'm sure they did. 61 games for Jose Siri. 6 homers, 19 RBIs, and 802 OPS. Actually having a decent year. OPS is roughly 80 points better than league average.
Yeah, he's always been a guy, a free swinger. The average usually isn't real high, but a terrific outfielder.
One inning, couple of strikeouts for Fauché. John King really struggled last night. An inning, 4 hits, 4 runs, 3 earned, 1 walk. He gave up the homer to Olsen, the RBI double to Thomas.
Were you surprised that Matt Olson hit that changeup the way he did? The way he did?
Sure was.
Yeah.
To dead central, about 4 inches off the plate. It's like low and in.
Yeah. I think at times John King tried to overthrow that a little bit. He's so much better when that sinker's down and he gets the ground balls.
And he struck him out with a good slider.
Yeah, that was a hittable pitch that Siri just came out of his shoes and almost out of his helmet. So John was able to pick up the strikeout.
And here is Tyler Heineman, the lone switch hitter on the roster for the Angels. We have a challenge coming. Curveball was called a strike. ABS is powered by T-Mobile. Heineman thinks this missed outside. It did not.
Ball is confirmed. Pitch is a strike.
So now both teams out of challenges.
And the rest of the way will be done the way it used to be played, Hut. The old-fashioned way, they said. By the way, tomorrow for Sandy, it'll be his 3rd career start against the Angels.
Have you noticed with the challenges, though, that the more veteran hitters, because they're not as used to this system, you don't see making challenges as often.
Right.
They're like kind of tentative because they're not sure.
I think some genuinely oftentimes forget too. You know, the guys that have been playing for a decade and it's been implemented in like year 11 of your career. It's just something that I don't know if they think about maybe as routinely as some of the younger players do. King with an 0-2 to Heineman, misses low. John King struggling recently, a 7.71 ERA over his last 7 outings, but Heineman flies this into right. And Sanoha makes the catch. There's 2 out. Here's Wade Meckler. What an unbelievable dream come true for Wade Meckler, a lifelong Angels fan. Went to Esperanza High right in Anaheim, just a short drive to Angels Stadium. So of course when the Angels acquired him from the Giants organization and brought him to the major leagues this season, I was quite literally, he was coming home.
Didn't have to get directions.
No.
To the ballpark either.
But he got the cool parking this time.
Yeah.
He got to go in a cool spot of the part of the parking lot, I guess. So remember I mentioned earlier Meckler made his Angels debut. I don't know if I mentioned against Texas. Bottom of the 1st inning. But he took Jacob deGrom deep. He cues that one to 3rd. And Jimenez throws him out in the side for time. 2 to tie, 3 to win. We'll see if they can do it when we come back.
Dr. Evil, your new phone company, Menace Mobile, will make it impossible to bundle cellular with home internet.
The inconvenience will be like liquid hot magma.
This isn't evil. All the phone companies make it inconvenient. That's why we're switching to Verizon.
With their new Simplicity plan, Verizon makes it easy to add home internet.
Bring in the savings! So you're all choosing Verizon, Traitors!
Bundle your phone and home internet from Verizon for just $70 a month.
Can you hear me now?
Ryan Miller fixes his hair. Doesn't know why he picked such an ugly shirt, but knows he can do more with his money. Ryan opens his Fidelity app, sees his opportunity, and takes it.
Ryan sets his investments to automatic.
That was easier than I thought.
It's a good shirt. Really? It's like flowers, but also a cow.
Not sure that helps.
Start investing with no account minimums. Talk about easier investing.
I'm Saquon Barkley, and I spent all day jumping through hoops. But watching football shouldn't feel like jumping through hoops. That's why I have DirecTV. It brings all my football into one place, so I can easily find and watch it. No jumping, no flipping, or hopping between apps, or channels. It's all my games, no matter where they air. Football's hard, but football with DirecTV, easy.
Stream football without the hurdles on DirecTV.
When you give someone your word, you keep it. Over 100 years ago, soldiers built USAA on that promise. Today, we're still taking care of the military, their spouses, kids, and then grandkids. USAA, taking care of our own.
Well, here's a look at the game summary here in Miami tonight. Bottom of the 9th inning, Angels leading 4-2. Phillips went 3. Trout 1 for 3 with a homer. Stowers 4 for 4 with a walk. So it'll be Ramirez, Edwards, and Hernandez for the Marlins, down 2, needing 2 to tie and 3 to win it here in the 9th. And they'll face Jose Fermin, the 6'3", 240-pound right-hander out of the Dominican Republic, who will vie for his first career save. Fermin fires, and there's strike 1. So the Angels have the fewest saves in Major League Baseball this season. They've only saved 15 games. Zefferdon, who they just traded to the Cubs, has 4. Romano, who was released in April, has 4. And Yates, who was traded to the Pirates, has 3. That hits the bag. And that's an infield base hit for Agustin Ramirez. He'll take it. He pinch hit in the 7th. And he's got a couple of hits.
Yeah, do or die by Guzman at third. Once he realized he wasn't going to be able to throw out Augustine, he decided to let it go to see if it'd go foul, and that ball hit the bag. So a 2-for-2 night, good way to get things started here in the bottom of the 9th.
Again, Fermin is bidding for his first Major League save. So 11 of your 15 saves this season have come from guys that are no longer on the team, including Zefferdon, Romano, and Yates. So Ramirez at first. He's not going to go too far. He got picked off in Atlanta last night. Can't have that here. Xavier Edwards thinking about bunting. Pulls back on a slider.
A lot of sliders. And we saw the sinker about 96, 97. But he'll actually throw more sliders than sinkers.
One ball, no strikes to count on Edwards. If you're into such matters, the Marlins have 5 walk-off wins this season, and 21 come from behind victories. When behind after 8, they're 2-51. As Edwards checked his swing. But the Marlins do play well here at home, 34-23. Clayton McCullough chatting with Carson Vitale. Do we have a dramatic finish in store here tonight? Let's find out.
Why not? Put a little pressure on the guy that's never had a Major League save.
Why not?
let that guy know. Let Mike Maddox know too, but he knows himself. But let the guy out there in the mound know that it's tough to get those final 3 outs of a game.
3-1.
Good take. Make him pitch.
Yeah.
Good job by Xavier.
You have to be very confident as a hitter
yes.
to take a 3-1 slider down the middle of the plate. To make him throw another. Remember, things were so bleak, what, a week and a half ago? The Marlins had to rally big off of Johan Duran, the Phillies closer. Now they're trying to rally against Fermin, pitching to a 3.13 ERA. 3-2 wasted foul. What an incredible ability to just get bat on ball to spoil that.
Just to stay alive. Of the Marlin hitters, Xavier is probably the best at doing that.
Chopper towards first. A leaping grab by Shanoel, who steps on the bag.
A little higher, that'd have been trouble.
Yeah, because he was not going to be able to get back to the bag. That's a real big first out for Fermin.
And a little bit higher, this ball's down into the corner. And there are either runners at second and third or runner at second and a run scores.
Heck of an effort there by Shanoel. But the tying run remains at the plate for the Marlins. Here is Hernandez. Foul tip, 0-1.
He had the kind of swing that looked like he was looking slider, got slider, and he just fouled it off.
He checked. Four-2 Angels, bottom of the 9th inning. Hernandez, fly ball left field, got underneath it.
He just missed it.
And there's 2 away.
He really went up there with an idea to just sit on sliders, and he got another one right there, but just got under it, just missed it.
Well, here comes Leo Jimenez. 75th Major League appearance for Fermin. Again, bidding for his first Major League save. Angels are trying to take game 1 from the Marlins. Jimenez 1 for 4. And a line drive into center field. That's going to get down for a base hit. They're going to send Ramirez. Here comes the throw. It's cut off on the mound. 2-out RBI single for Leo Jimenez. 4-3. And the winning run will come to the plate. Tying run at first. He's coming around a little bit.
Yeah, good to see him get an opportunity to play a little bit. His second base hit tonight. He's hit a couple of balls really well.
So do the Marlins have one big magical swing in them from the smallest fella on the team? Fermin is going to have to face Sanoha.
He might be small, but he's come up big so many times.
He sure has.
Got a third of an inning under his belt last night on the mound.
A run home here in the last of the 9th inning for the Marlins. They've got 11 hits to the Angels 6. Ball 1 to Javier Sanoja. Do you think any part of, I mean, this sounds crazy. Any part of the conversation is to be more careful with Sanoja with Mack on deck? I mean,
no,
what are you talking about?
Yeah, because it would be lefty on righty matchup.
I wonder what they were talking about, though. 1-1.
Sometimes it gives the pitcher a little breather, number one. And number two, just to kind of go over again how to pitch Javier Sanoja.
Two and 1. Marlins trying to avoid dropping their 4th consecutive game. That would send them back to a game under 500. And Kurt Suzuki's bunch trying to hold on for their 45th victory of the season. Ryan Gusto can barely watch. That's going to stay foul. And it just barely did, because it started right. It took a left turn.
Every once in a while, I've seen it a couple of times. Guys will hit a ball like that, stay at home plate, but it has some funny spin, and it'll spin back into fair territory. So I really love what Javi did. Yeah, he ran.
Yeah, because if he didn't, Shawna-Well would have let that roll as long as he possibly could have. So now the Marlins down to their final strike. Game 2 tomorrow at 4:10. Coverage will begin at 3:45. This one not quite over yet. Two. Swinging a shot down the left field line, the base hit. Jimenez around second. Jimenez on his way to third. He's going to get the wave. The throw to the plate. Got him. And the ball game is over. And the Marlins will take a look just in case. They are asking for a crew chief review. An aggressive send. And a perfect throw from Siri.
Yeah, I think anybody in the ballpark wanted to see him go. So no problem with the send by Blake Lally. You wanted to make the Angels make a perfect throw. This ball just gets over the head of Guzman, the third baseman. I thought Jimenez was going to get there, but it was an absolute perfect relay throw. Did he tag him?
Holy cow.
Did he tag him?
I think he did. I think he got him on the left shoulder before the oven mitt could get there. And you have to remember, the call on the field is out. If it's overturned, it's a game-tying double. The Angels are lined up and ready to shake hands. It is so close, you have to have enough to overturn it.
By the way, what a great at bat, and he does it so often, by Javier Sanoja.
Here's the call.
That's refused, calling field stance, the runner is out.
And the Angels win the ball game by a final score of 4-3. A run, 3 hits, no errors, and 1 man left on base here in the bottom of the 9th. Marlins have now lost 4 in a row. They're 58-59.
Take one more look. You see the oven mitt on the base, but just prior to that, the tag got up on the shoulder. Great tag by Heineman, the catcher. Great relay throw. It took all of that to complete that play. What an ending. Marlins didn't give up. They left a lot of guys on early in the game, and I think that hurt them in this one to just lose by 1 run.
And Fermin saves his first career game. If he was called safe at the plate, there's probably not enough to overturn it, but it does look like Heineman might have got him on that left shoulder right before his mitt hit home plate. And the ball game is over. Any closing thoughts here?
Just that there were opportunities, and we talked about that early in the game. First and third, nobody out, weren't able to capitalize. A lot of men left on base. They did put together 12 hits. Super night for Kyle Stowers, who had 4. Just came up 1 run short on a misplay back to the mound.
It was an early morning for the Marlins, a disappointing finish, but they didn't give up. Angels 4, Marlins 3, the final score. And then we'll re-rack it and see you back here at 3:45 tomorrow afternoon. Post-game show coming up next. Game 2 comes your way tomorrow. For Tommy and Kelly, our director Matt, and our producer Max and Kyle, so long from loanDepot Park. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. Hang around. The Marlins post-game show is next.
SandCloud chose the Capital One Spark Cash Plus card. Their business earns unlimited 2% cash back on everything they buy. They get big purchasing power so their business can spend more and earn more. What's a yo why?
At Ace, our buckets hold so much more than paint. They hold dreams and hope for children. This weekend, make a $5 donation and get a 5-gallon bucket plus 20% off almost anything that fits inside it.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
You hit your personal best, vowed to never rest, destined for new heights under Friday night lights. Weekends at the rec leagues, home runs in the big leagues. At the heartache of pain, trust experts with your game. With leading edge care on sprains, strains, or tears, and research that's academic-based, come back at your own pace. The University of Miami Sports Medicine Institute is ready to help you recover your game.
Hey, it's the Good Greek Spiro. I'll get right to the point. Billy has the best nose for moves, and he knows to call Good Greek Moving and Storage, the one the pros trust as the world's only total relocation company. Whether your move is across town, across the country, or across the globe, call Good Greek Moving and Storage for your best move ever. It all starts at goodgreek.com. Good Greek, the official mover of your Miami Marlins.
Good Greek Moving and Storage, your superhero movers.
Mr. Conine, sign our balls. Yeah, please sign our balls.
No problem. So, who do you want to be when you grow up?
I want to be a lawyer like my dad. Me too. Our dad is an all-star lawyer.
That's amazing. You got such great role models at home. And plenty out here in the field, too.
To the Marlins post-game show here at loanDepot Park, where the celebration is on. And a surprise tonight, no doubt, it is the Los Angeles Angels coming into South Florida and defeating the Marlins. A wild finish tonight. Final score 4-3 as Miami has now lost their 4th consecutive game in a season of streaks. Here's another one. I'm Craig Mish along with former All-Star closer A.J. Ramos in a game that absolutely the Marlins are not going to sleep well tonight, A.J. I feel like they had this one several times. It did come down to a play at the plate here, A.J., at the end. Probably shouldn't have, but what did you see here with this throw by Jose Siri?
I mean, it was a perfect throw. I like the sin right there because it was hit soft enough and you knew it would take a perfect throw to get Jimenez out. Perfect throw, perfect catch. And it was a good tag. I was hoping that maybe he missed missed Jimenez by a little bit and he snuck in there, but it was a great tag and it was a tough way to end the game. But on the plus side, the Marlins battled back to almost, knot it up.
Marlins probably had a lot of opportunities to win this earlier in the game, and I think that's where they're going to look back and say, hey, what if tonight? They did get 12 hits. They just left so many on base, and it's come down to that last play. By the way, former Marlin Tyler Heineman getting the final out of the game. And so, you know, AJ, you look at games like this, and you ask yourself, what if? And you really can't play that game in Major League Baseball. The guys go to sleep. They wake up the next day. It's like it never happened. But I feel like in this game in particular, especially after the Marlins took a lead, big game for Kyle Stowers, I thought all that was going to happen was the bullpen was going to come in, take care of business like they've done here at home. But unfortunately, a key mistake in the 7th inning by Josh Eknes led to an extra out, and that led to a home run. And if you give anybody an extra out in this league, the Angels, the A's, the Rockies, even the Mets, sometimes they're going to come back and win, and that's what the Angels did today.
Yeah, I mean, it's about trying, especially when you're not hitting the ball to the ballpark, it's about playing this clean as baseball as possible. And the half inning before that, the Marlins scored. So you were looking for a shutdown inning. Eknes, you know, threw one pitch and got a double play. The next inning he came out, he was almost out of the jam. It's one of those balls that when the ball's hit right back at you when you're on the mound, it always seems like it's coming a little bit faster than it really is. And he lifted up his glove a little bit too fast, and the ball went under his glove. And even though you say, all right, you got to wash that away, not think about it, for Eknes, that's a play that you can make, and it's going to sit in your mind, and you're going to replay it over and over. Like, how did I miss that dribbler through the legs?
So you think maybe he wasn't as focused on his pitch to Shanuel. First, let's look at the error here, and then I want to ask you about the pitch. So here it is. Eknes is, of course, facing Mike Trout, who homered earlier in the game, by the way. And there it is, right there through the wickets. AJ, you think he thought it was coming in a little quick?
Yeah, well, and it took like a short, quick hop. I've gotten some comebackers whenever I'm in these type of situations, and I literally play it like a catcher. I fall to my knees and block it up with my body, because when the ball's hit like that, it has certain spin, and it's hard to predict which way the ball's going to go. It could take a big hop. It could take a small hop, and it goes through his legs, and then the next batter, Shanuel, Eknes throws a sweeper. Shanuel deposits that into center field, and that's one of those things that where you're thinking, instead of having that pitch back, you wish you could have that ground ball back so that you could make that play, because 9 times out of 10, you make that play, and it just didn't go his way that time, and it went through his legs, and the Angels made him pay.
Yeah, and Eknes hasn't pitched a ton in the big leagues. Of course, he's missed a lot of time this season, and I know that it's going to be a tough night for him, of course, looking back on that. And then, as AJ said, he just threw that sweeper right over the plate. 399 feet, Shanuel hit it. It was the difference in the game as the Marlins fall by 1. But they had some other opportunities, AJ, in this one. And I do want to show you earlier in the game. The Marlins had runners on first and third. Otto Lopez hits a ground ball to third. And look at this play by Vaughn Grissom getting out Ruiz. But Ruiz right there, did he go too quick? Should he have stayed on third?
Well, it was in between almost. If you go back and look at it, he watched the ball go up in there. He wasn't running on first contact. If the ball's hit to third, you got to run on first contact. And normally when the ball's hit on the ground like that, it doesn't bounce that high. But for whatever reason, that ball bounced high, a little bit more velocity than what Ruiz was thinking. And with his speed, you're always going to rely on your speed. So I get why he trusts that and thought he was going to score with that. But another perfect throw nabbed him at the plate, and that stopped the momentum for the Marlins at there. So if you look back right here, you see once Otto Lopez hits the ball and it bounces on the plate, you see there's a little stutter step. Right. There's a little bit of a hesitation, and that may have cost a run right there for Ruiz. And it was a great throw.
Great throw by
He was out by a lot, but that hesitation could have cost a run there.
I think also the other thing that you got to take into consideration in this game, and look, as Clayton McCullough has said, and anybody would say, and you played a long time in the big leagues, you're never going to apologize for winning a big league game. It is the Angels. They are one of the worst teams in baseball this season. They had a guy making his big league debut tonight on the mound. The guy they threw in the 9th inning had never gotten a save before. They're playing a lot of guys for the future. They just basically dismantled their whole team. And I think when Miami looks back on this, they got to understand that sometimes those games, AJ, are the hardest to win. You saw some incredible defensive performances. A lot of guys on that field tonight, AJ, are not just fighting for this year. They're fighting for their baseball lives. And you got to expect they're going to give you everything they got. You got to tip your cap to the Angels tonight. That's it.
Yeah, they played a cleaner brand of baseball today. They made the pitches, The big ones for me is Otto Lopez and Xavier Edwards. They weren't able to get the big hits when there's runners in scoring position. They're both kind of going through a little bit of a skid. Once those guys get back on, I feel like they'll be able to, that's when the Marlins start to go. But just these past few series, both those guys have not been able to get that big hit. Seems like Otto Lopez is pulling off the ball a little bit, trying to like swing his way out of this slump. And it's just out of character type swings and just hasn't been able to get the big swings. Now, Stowers had 4 hits today.
Yeah.
He had one big hit, which was a blooper that got in, so that's a good sign of him getting to go. But you still need Edwards and you still need Otto Lopez to get going to get this team back on track.
And Stowers did have 4 hits back in Sacramento and then went on an absolute tear. So maybe this is the beginning of Stowers breaking out this weekend against the Angels. Well, no doubt a very disappointed skipper in the clubhouse. Let's hear from here's Clayton McCullough.
Oh, yeah, good with a sin there. I mean, it took a really nice throw, guy running a long way for it to pick it up there, and tough angle to make that throw home going back across. So, yeah, I love the aggressiveness by Blake and really have since he's been our third base coach. I think he does a great job of balancing aggressiveness in there. 2 outs and a chance to tie it up, so all good with me.
Yeah, let's go continue on that 9th inning there. Just how did you see Sanoha battle in that back and just everybody kind of fight through that?
Yeah, I've seen nice, Gus gets us going with the infield single, and Leo put a good swing on one, and Sanoha, we've seen him so many times, come up in those spots, and he's going to, really compete, and he got off some good swings as well on some sliders, and able to. Get one through there. So, not surprised that, the type of a bat he took there in that moment. We've seen it, a lot.
We saw, I guess, earlier in the game, Ruiz trying to score. The play was on the left side of the infield. Just the read on that, and also just you guys have been trying to get runs. It's been tough. How much of it is trying to be more, not even necessarily more aggressive, but trying to find ways to score runs and maybe getting into outs that way?
I think you're in those first and third situations, and really, the worst thing you can do is just stand there and let them turn a double play, and then you're sitting there with a guy on third with 2 outs. So, you're generally gonna go unless it's a swinging bunt or something softer, or potentially there's not 2. So that's a tougher read when you're there trying to discern, is this hard enough for a double play or not? So I think you see downward contact. You don't see a super high bounce, and with Ruiz's speed, you go there and they made a play.
Just how did Phillips look?
I thought Phillips. I've seen him starting. He's been good, and again, he does what he's doing. He's going out there and giving us a chance to win, putting us in a position to win. And today, other than the Trout homer in the first, I thought he threw a lot of good pitches. Owen made a nice play behind him in right, and so I thought, Tyler, again, you sign up for that and to go out and give us a shot as he's been doing, and so. He did his part.
Oh, was that the right spot to go to Peterson?
Yeah, I thought so for there. I think with, coming back around to the top the third time, it's a tied game. They got a guy on, nobody out, and so I felt like that's, the time to go there, and, felt good about us covering the last 5 innings with what we had down in the pen, and so felt like finding that time, Mike there with a guy on, and that game being tied was the spot. I felt good with, going with him.
What do you think, I guess, collectively, the at-bats throughout the game?
Yeah, I thought that, okay, we had some walks. I thought we, put some good at-bats together. Probably was kind of a game, both sides just missed opportunities. I think, it's not about who gets the most hits in a game. It's about scoring more runs, and they did that. But I think we had some opportunities, and didn't handle the ball, with 2 outs, comebacker there. And so a couple of those missed opportunities on both sides of the ball ended up being the difference tonight.
All right, so that's Clayton McCullough on the loss today. What a game for Kyle Stowers. 4 hits against the Los Angeles Angels, but the Marlins fall 4-3 in the bottom of the 9th. We'll be right back on the postgame show next.
It's Toyota's national sales event with so much summer left to see. From the perfect seats in a RAV4, to reimagining spaces in a Corolla Cross, to rooms with a view in a Tundra. Don't you love when summer just clicks?
Lease a new 2026 Toyota Tundra SR5 for $429 a month for 36 months with $5428 due at signing. That's just $429 a month on the Toyota Tundra.
Toyota keeps your summer going.
Toyota, let's go places.
Multitasking sure is tough, isn't it? It's a bit like juggling multiple insurance policies. Things can go sideways in a hurry. Luckily, Geico makes it easy to manage all your policies in one place. Because we could all stand to do a bit less. Oh, careful.
That was a close one. Thanks.
It feels good to juggle less. It feels good to Geico.
Dr. Evil, your new phone company, Menace Mobile, will make it impossible to bundle cellular with home internet.
The inconvenience will be like liquid hot magma.
This isn't evil. All the phone companies make it inconvenient. That's why we're switching to Verizon.
With their new Simplicity plan, Verizon makes it easy to add home internet.
Bring in the savings! So you're all choosing Verizon, Traitors!
Bundle your phone and home internet from Verizon for just $70 a month.
Can you hear me now?
Hey, it's the Good Greek Spiro. I'll get right to the point. Billy has the best nose for moves, and he knows to call Good Greek Moving and Storage, the one the pros trust as the world's only total relocation company. Whether your move is across town, across the country, or across the globe, call Good Greek Moving and Storage for your best move ever. It all starts at goodgreek.com. Good Greek, the official mover of your Miami Marlins.
Good Greek moving and storage. Your superhero movers.
The Marlins TV postgame show is brought to you by Doral Kia, home of the Pricito, and by Werner Hoffman, Greg and Garcia, the official law firm of the Miami Marlins. Welcome back, Craig Bish, AJ Ramos here with you. There's fireworks going on at the ballpark, as you can clearly see and hear. The Angels defeat the Marlins 4-3 in this game, AJ, but Kyle Stowers got 4 hits tonight. He led off the game. Remember, Miami traded Liam Hicks at the deadline. He had been their leadoff hitter against righties. Stowers now fitting that bill, and as you can see, came up big tonight for the 12 hits for Miami.
Yeah, he looked really comfortable in the box. He was out there, had a great approach. Saw that bloop single. There was like 7 or 8 bloop singles, by the way, to center field. But he looked very centered at the plate. The biggest hit he got was the bloop single you see right here. That was the RBI, and it got some runs on the board. But when this guy gets going, he's a dangerous hitter, and hopefully this is him getting going right now. That pitch he hit right there was 101 miles an hour from the pitcher. He turned that around, so once he gets going, he's a dangerous hitter.
Ben Joyce back off the injured list, throwing 102 tonight. Stowers says, don't worry about it, I got it. Here's the Toyota road ahead. Sandy Alcantara against Urania tomorrow. This should be the matchup of the weekend. Sandy was the pitcher of the week, AJ, last week. I wonder what he'll do for an encore on Saturday.
Well, when the team needs him the most is usually when he steps up. So he's in a position right now where he can help the Marlins team out. But they got a tough guy in Urania. He's been throwing really well. He's got his changeup, sinker, sweeper, slider, and guys aren't hitting very well off of him. So it's going to be a challenge for the Marlins. You got to come up with some approaches to get some runs across the board, get things going, because you feel like Sandy can steer this back in the right direction.
As the fireworks go off, we'll take a quick break and come back and wrap things up on the Marlins post-game show. Marlins fall to the Angels in Game 1, 4-3. We'll be right back.
Winning doesn't just happen by accident. It starts long before the crowd. With preparation, the work, the focus, the discipline to be ready when the moment comes. At WHG, we know every case is earned before you ever step inside the courtroom. Because whether it's baseball or a lawsuit, winning belongs to the ones who prepare for it. WHG. Preparation wins.
He's gonna score! Swinging a drive in the air! This is pretty deep putt! He did it! Way back! Whoa! Miami's all-time new strikeout leader. Look at the emotion from Sandy. 2-2 down with a fastball at 99. Swing and a miss! Man! And another RBI! Yes, he did. He punches out the side. Waved at and missed. Carrying. Dominguez back. Near the wall. Leaps. Can't get it! A grand slam for Stowers! 2-2 down with a fastball. Gary got him! There just might be a little something special about these Marlins. That's gonna sneak through for a base hit. He's gonna score! Swinging a drive in the air! 2-2 is hit a mile to left field! And he got it! The throw to the plate. It's
Chevy drivers across America will do a lot in the next 5 years. But one thing they won't do is pay interest on their new Chevy. Right now, get 0% financing for 5 years on all 2026 Silverado 1500 models. With no payments for 90 days. Because you've earned this summer. Now it's time to go get it.
See your South Florida Chevy dealers.
We're all guilty of the old one-trip wonder.
You got
You all right there? Yep. And while bundling groceries can be quite the handful, bundling with Geico is a breeze.
Should we?
Probably. Plus, you can save hundreds when you combine your home and car insurance. Oh dear. Need a hand?
It feels good to bundle better. It feels good to Geico.
Welcome back to the post-game show. One of the more disappointing losses of the season for the Marlins. They lose to the Angels 4-3 and lose game 1 of the series and fall under 500. They'll try to get it back tomorrow, and we'll be here for the pregame show. So hope everybody enjoys the rest of your night and enjoy the fireworks if you're listening here at the ballpark. We got to get out of here. For AJ Ramos, I'm Craig Fish. See you for the pregame Saturday afternoon. Have a great night, everyone.